Boom. Right, we're on. Let's go. Welcome to the Bundesliga Watchalong Live week number 2. We've got loads of match days coming up over the next couple of weeks in the Bundesliga. So apologies, we are a little bit late on time. But we have got loads of massive games coming up, especially over today. Rowan, Kieran D and Kieran L are here as always for the Watchalong Live. How are we all doing?
All right.
Good. I'm not too bad. And
Looking forward to some football.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, I think this week we've got some big games compared to last week, of course. It was the first week back in the Bundesliga. It was nice to have some football back. But now it's finally time to digest some big games of football while Kieran digests his steak pie.
Thank you.
In the background. But no,
he's got his notepad out ready for notes.
He's ready. He's prepared.
I'm so ready.
We have got... Oh man, I mean, you've got a great game to watch. To give you all a heads up, Chris is in the stream. Hi lads, I hope you're well. Welcome in, Chris. I hope you're all good today. To give you a heads up, of course the games do start in 10 minutes time, but to give you a brief analysis, there are 4 games on in the Bundesliga today, which you'll be able to see on the screen very shortly. The first game that is on as of today, they're all on at half 2, of course. We have Paderborn versus Hoffenheim, which is the game that Kieran L will be covering. We have Dortmund. They'll be facing Bayer Leverkusen. Not Bayer Leverkusen. Gladbach versus Leverkusen. Don't know why it says that there. And I'll be watching that game. Of course, that kicks off at half 2 as well. Then we do actually have Dortmund playing. They're facing off against Wolfsburg away. Of course, you might have heard the news. There's no Jadon Sancho today. Unfortunately, he's on the bench. And then the last game, of course, which Rowan will be covering, and I'm pretty sure he'll have an eye on that Dortmund game as well, is Freiburg versus Werder Bremen. They are the 4 fixtures, of course, today. Hopefully for you two boys with the Paderborn and Freiburg game, there's some goals in them. Fingers crossed. Yeah, you need them. In terms of the table, give you a quick heads up on the table. Closest here, guys. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. How are you today? To give you a update on the table, as you can see on the screen right now, big games means there is a potential chance for a title shift. Of course, last week Leipzig scraped a vital point against Freiburg, but Freiburg are, of course, playing today. But in terms of that top half of the section, they're the only side, of course, as well as Bayern, that aren't playing today. Dortmund, if they win their match, they'll go 1 point behind Bayern. Of course, Bayern are playing at 5:30 today against Eintracht Frankfurt. Gladbach, they're facing Leverkusen. So if Gladbach win, they could potentially go above Dortmund if they lose. Leverkusen could also go above Leipzig if they win today. A draw would probably be the worst case scenario for both sides in terms of the title race, as you may speak. As for Wolfsburg and Freiburg, of course, they're both playing, as I said, against Dortmund and Werder Bremen, respectively. 3 points on the board would be massive for Wolfsburg as they try and keep that 6th place momentum going. They're 2 points ahead of Freiburg. While, of course, if they lose today and Freiburg, who are at home, win, then Freiburg will go ahead of them into 6th, and it could place some pressure on Wolfsburg with Schalke and Hoffenheim not too far behind. And in terms of the sides, of course, that are playing today, Paderborn, Werder Bremen are the bottom 2 sides. They cannot progress above anyone apart from the teams themselves between Werder Bremen and Paderborn. So you could see Paderborn today potentially move up into 17th place, although Werder Bremen do still have a game in hand. Well, of course, if Werder Bremen can win today, I like the enthusiasm, Kieran. It does mean that Werder Bremen will only be 2 points behind Dusseldorf. So the pressure's on with the game in hand. The pressure really is on. Now, I think it's worth talking through the lineups before we really kick on with these games. We're now 7 minutes away from these matches, as I can still see Rowan enjoying a game of Call of Duty in the background. Go on, Rowan.
You know, the thing is that I realise is when you're got PowerPoint or a stream loaded up a website, you can't see. It's just there. We just
I don't think the other 2 can see. I think it's just me and you.
Yeah.
No, I could see in the bottom of the screen. I could just see a man like running with his arms forward.
Yeah, you can see it when you have StreamYard loaded up. You can see it.
Fucking hell. There we go. So as we can see, of course, the big game today, I think one of the biggest out of the 2 is that Wolfsburg versus Dortmund game. Of course, Kieran D, you'll be covering this one. Looking at the starting lineup, there is one notable inclusion that is on the bench today. That's Jadon Sancho, of course. We've talked about this a little bit before the stream started, whether this is a case of Sancho, of course, not being on form in the previous game, or whether they're resting for the Bayern Munich game on Tuesday. It's a strong side.
Wow.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
It might be just the strategy they're going for.
I mean, you can see here the starting 11 is Berkey. We've got Kanji, Hummels, Piszczek, and Hakimi. So they have swapped today from a back three to a back four. Guerrero's in there as well. In the midfield, we've got Delaney, Dahoud, and then the front three, we have Brandt, Hazard, and Haaland. That hasn't changed from the previous game, of course. All three of those attackers did get on the score sheet / get assists in that previous game. While Wolfsburg, their side today, Casteels is the captain. Stefan is in the side as well. Of course, he got the goal in the previous game against Augsburg. Weghorst is back from his suspension. Question is, how many goals is Weghorst going to get today, boys? Quickly tell me.
1.
7.
13.
7. 13, I like it. If he scores 13, I'll do a £50 giveaway, and I'll stick to that.
£50.
Yeah, all right then. I'll give 50 quid to if he scores 13.
Oh, nice.
I'll get worried if he. Imagine now he scores 2 in the first 5 minutes. I'll start shitting myself. 11 more goals to go. Mehmedi's in there. Roussillon is back as well. Of course, Otavio was in the side previously in the last game, but Roussillon comes into the side today. Otavio's not actually even in the lineup today. Pongrasic, Schlegler, Brooks, who didn't have the best of games against Augsburg, is in the side, as well as Arnold. And Ginczek, who scored that winning goal 2-1 against Augsburg, is in the lineup once again. On the bench, a couple of the interesting players on there. Bracalo, the Croatian winger, Knocker as well, the defender, and Tisserand as well. The other game on the side today, the other big one, is that game versus Gladbach and Bayer Leverkusen. Lineups-wise for that one, Jan Sommers in goal. We've got Strobel, Thuram and Plea started. Of course, both of those players scored within the first 10 minutes of their previous match against Frankfurt. Hoffman, Benzabeni, Ginter, Elvedi, Newhouse, and Mbolo are all in the side today. Kramer on the bench, Stindl on the bench, Ibrahima Traore is on the bench as well in that one. As for Bayer Leverkusen, there is still no Kevin Volland back. He's not in the side once again, which means you'd assume he might have picked up an injury at some point. Haradikin in goal, Sven Bender, Dragovic are in the side. Demir Bey, Tapsoba, Diaby, Orengui, Sinkgraven. He keeps his name in the side. He was in the team in the previous game they played on Monday night against Werder Bremen. Visa, Havertz is up top today once again. Bellarabi starts this time. He was on the bench in the previous game. So quite strong lineups there. Leon Bailey, Alario, Baumgartner, and Vendel, and the young 17-year-old Wirtz on the bench today. So quite a strong bench there for Leverkusen. The other two games that are going on today, Freiburg, Werder Bremen. You can see Freiburg's lineup here. We do have the scorer of that ridiculous back heel goal that he definitely meant. Manuel Gould is in defence today. Vincenzo Grifo, one of their star players, is in the side, including Niels Pettersson, of course, one of their top scorers. And then Werder Bremen, their side has changed up a little bit. Davy Klaassen, the former Everton midfielder, you might remember him for being quite shit at Everton. Let's hope he's not shit in today's game because they desperately need points. He's back in the side for Werder Bremen. A couple of other players in there as well. Rashika, Bittencourt, they've all kept their places. So not too many changes there. And then finally, the other game, Paderborn versus Hoffenheim. That is the Paderborn side. I don't think they've made any changes from that previous match. Let's hope they can score a few goals. Excitement, yes. And then Hoffenheim, as you can see, Hoffenheim's lineup there. Bauman's in goal, Kadabarek, Bikasic, Bebu, Grilic. Pretty much they've kept a very, very similar side. Munas Dabur is on the bench today, so they do have a couple of players they can bring on. Akpaguma, I think he played in the previous game. He's not in the lineup today. He's on the bench as well as Jacob.
Yeah, because he was shit.
Yeah, he was terrible. And that's probably why. Jack Ogden, welcome to stream. He says, how are you watching?
BT
Sport.
BT Sport, yes, that's how we're all watching these games. So we're all watching them.
Bundesliga football.
Absolutely, we're all watching them on BT Sports today. But no, the game should be starting in about 2 minutes' time. I was going to say, of course, predictions. We don't tell anyone that.
I'm mildly excited for what I'm anticipating to be a crap game. I mean, I just saw Bikakic give it a big chest bump. He's high. Honestly. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
It's going to be interesting because, I mean, Paderborn, of course, they didn't score any goals in the previous game. They desperately need points, of course. They still, theoretically, are in a position to try and work towards a relegation playoff spot. But who knows?
So, we've got a lady ref. You love to see it.
It shouldn't matter what gender they are, Kieran.
No, it's just because in the Premier League, we don't have an out-and-out women's ref, do we? We have women's linesmen, but we don't have a women's ref, and I want us to implement that over time, really. But that's pretty cool.
I think they will eventually, but yeah, no, we only see linesmen in the Premier League.
I slowly want to see more women's referees get to the top of the game.
They're doing a minute's silence here.
I don't know what the minute silence is about. But
Right. Yeah, was it Hillsborough?
So Julian Brandt's got very messy hair today.
Kai Havertz is putting some ankle tape on, I think.
I'm trying to figure out what they're doing a minute's silence for.
Yeah, no, they're just getting prepared with the boots.
People who've been lost by the pandemic, I think that's what they've just said.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was before BT were doing a thing about Hillsborough.
I don't think they would in Germany. No, I think it was. I'm not sure.
I thought Hillsborough was the anniversary. It was a couple of weeks ago, I think.
I don't remember.
Speaking of messy
Is it the
hair,
Manchester? Is it the Manchester common thing?
Yeah,
Manchester. I feel like it's something to do with the corona. They're all clapping now, so.
Yeah, no, it's they're going through the minute silence here. I'm just looking at the lineups in terms of formations and that today, just see how the teams are playing. Both Gladbach and Leverkusen adopting the exact same formation. Plee and Thuram aren't playing as strikers today. And Bolo's up front, Thuram a player on the wings this time, which is an interesting call from Gladbach. Ginter, Liner, Elvedi, Benzabeni. Strong defence, I think Gladbach has personally.
They've got a very well-rounded team.
It's a great side on paper.
It's kicked off here at Freiburg.
Woo! Nice. Boom. Game's getting underway now. We like to see it. Wolfsburg and Dortmund. Dortmund are actually adopting a three at the back.
They're doing the minute silence where they stood all around the centre circle at the moment.
Yeah, I think ours are just getting sorted here.
I am.
Play check as a centre back, Josh.
It's an interesting one that because was he playing centre back last week as well, Rowan Piszczek?
Mm-hmm.
He seems to have adopted a new position in terms of, course, being a right back usually.
He's not got the pace to play fullback anymore, I don't think. Whereas you've got Bikini, who can bob up and down the wing. You might as well just have him tuck in just inside.
If you do look at the Dortmund left back and right back, it is two pacey guys, so might as well put Piszczek in that middle because he's still good.
And Piszczek signed a new contract. Congratulations to Piszczek.
Well,
he did indeed. 1 year extension there. I'm looking at the Wolfsburg lineup. They've gone for the Burnley approach of a 4-4-2. Weghorst and Ginczek up top, which means you'd assume they'd just be lofting the ball up to the two tall strikers today. So that could be a fun one. I do think we will see a goal from Wolfsburg. Freiburg and Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen gone for a 4-3-3 again. Vogt playing in midfield. Usually you see him as a centre back, but he's started to adapt a bit more of a midfield role now. And we're still doing the minute silence in this game, but they haven't actually properly kicked off yet. Pettersson and Holler up top for Freiburg. So interesting games. These one, of course, the two standout fixtures, I think, for many people will be the Wolfsburg, Dortmund, the Gladbach and Leverkusen. But you can't sleep on Paderborn, Hoffenheim, and you can't sleep on Freiburg, Werder Bremen. You really can't. Two sides that are fighting for the European spots.
I want to see some respect on our games, thank you.
You will get as much respect as you possibly can. Right, here we go. Games have started to kick off. They're just about to kick off in this game between Gladbach and Leverkusen. So we'll keep you up to date with every goal, every chance, every moment.
Oh, unlucky. Dortmund are already on the front foot here. Had a few decent touches in the Wolfsburg half, but Wolfsburg defended well.
Kieran,
we already have an injury. So.
You covered Hoffenheim last week. Did they play Bibu up front?
Yeah, they did.
Why is Kramaric?
He started as a striker.
I believe Kramaric is out injured.
Yeah, he must be, because I wondered why they played Bibu up front.
Because he's not even in the side today. Yep, and there isn't as well, what they call it as well, Belfodil, the Algerian striker. He's not in the side either.
They brought Bayer on at half-time as well. And,
right, here we go. The games have all kicked off now.
1-0 to Hoffenheim. What a start. And it's the Skov who scored, and things go from bad to worse for Paderborn. But Hoffenheim took the lead. It was great work on the wing by Kaderabek, who again tapped it past his fullback, got right to the byline, and Kaderabek did he do a 1-2? No, he just tapped it past his fullback, ran towards the byline, squared it across the box, and it's powered home by Skov. Good goal from Hoffenheim. And it's 1-0.
Wow.
What a start. First goal already. Paderborn 0, Hoffenheim 1. Are we about 5 minutes into that? Not even 5 minutes, maybe. We already have that first goal. There we go. Boom. 1-0. Kaderabek does get the assist indeed. Skov with the goal. Great start from Hoffenheim. Of course, they did lose that previous game against Hertha Berlin. 3-0. They definitely need to start on the front foot, and they certainly have here. 1-0 in that game already. Good start there from Hoffenheim. We like to see that. Early goals.
Just had a stoppage in play because the referees, I think something like a phone or something that's attached to him just wasn't staying on his person, so he's had to get someone to help him with that, and we are back underway now.
Oh, well, close. Freiburg free kick outside box. Hit Pavlenko had to dive for it. Close, but no cigar.
Not
There's a
too
counter
bad.
on here. That's a terrible pass.
Good to see a couple of early chances. Bit of a quiet start in this Leverkusen Gladbach game. I think our two big games, I think, will be a little bit tight. Both teams will not want to lose points today. Of course, Wolfsburg will be facing off against Leverkusen on Tuesday night. And of course, Dortmund have their big fixture, Der Klassiker, which will be on Tuesday night as well. Ooh. So, big game, that one. Big game, of course. It all depends on the situation of today in terms of who wins, who takes the points, on how the title race could potentially be outlined. It's crazy, isn't it? Some massive games. But we're starting with a goal, which is, of course, the earliest goal since the comeback of the Bundesliga. Skov, who's been on fine form this season for Hoffenheim, even if they have been struggling in recent weeks. Good to see the Danish player on the score sheet, which means, as the table stands right now, Hoffenheim have moved up into 8th place. They're now only 2 points off Wolfsburg in 6th. So even though they've lost their last 5 or 6, they're still well and truly in that European race for sure. So good to see that. And as for Paderborn, of course, things do get worse here. They will be stuck on 17 points, of course, if things stay the same. But plenty of time. We're not even 10 minutes in yet, and there's a lot of work to be done, of course.
Dortmund looking very shaky at the back. A few misplaced passes by Piszczek. Wolfsburg are right on him. It's a cagey affair so far. Both teams definitely feeling each other out.
We have got a question from Chris Welsh who said, "Will you be doing these type of watch on for other leagues if other leagues do come back?"
I'd say so.
Yeah, we could do it.
It just depends if they get shown on TV or not.
Oh, like a terrible touch.
Depends if they get shown on TV, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, we've just heard that La Liga's coming back June 8th, and the proposed plan for the La Liga is to play fixtures at night time as well. So they're looking at 11 o'clock fixtures and things like that. Of course, it's because of the heat in Spain. It's a nightmare to run the games. But yeah, we can definitely look into it.
Yeah. Good
chance here for Leverkusen. First opportunity. Demibe somehow finding himself in the box, but it's a bit of a tame shot. Well, first chance, early doors. In fact, good little work from him there. Tried to cut in onto his stronger left foot to take the shot, but I don't think he got the conviction he wanted to. But not too bad. Not too bad. We like the earlier chances. How is the opening first few minutes of Freiburg versus Werder Bremen going?
Boring.
Yeah.
It's been a very even matchup in fairness. Both teams having decent attacking chances. Motion Freiburg getting a free kick. Currently, Bittengart plays it through. Sargent outside the box. Klassen. That is a dreadful shot. No, great build-up. Bittengart plays it through Josh Sargent. Sargent turns. Poo across. Cleared from Freiburg defender. David Klassen open outside the box. All he has to do is shoot, get it on target with a bit of power. It would have gone in, and he just rolls it along the floor to Schwaller.
Unfortunate there. I mean, hopefully this week it's not a case of my words failing again, because, of course, last week I said about a certain someone who had a terrible game, and I've slagged off Klassen already today, and I thought he was about to score then, and I was just going to curse myself once again with another player who I've said is rubbish. scoring a goal. But no, 10 minutes into that one, there's been 2 shots so far, as you said. 1 shot for Freiburg, and then, of course, the outside the box shot from David Klassen there. But not really too much going on in terms of that game. Of course, we've got less games on this week than we did last week. We had 5, now we've got 4, of course. The big fixture tonight is Frankfurt versus Bayern Munich. Be an interesting game, that one, of course. Frankfurt will be coming off the back of another late game. Of course, they did play last week quite late on. They're playing another late game, and it's another big side they've got to face. So,
crossed in.
Challenge.
Oh, Weghorst. Oh,
Big
my.
chance for Havertz. Goal.
It's
I don't know whether that's been flagged as offside. No, he's classed as a goal. Havertz has scored. He's brilliant goal there. I didn't know whether he was he slowed down there for the offside. He wasn't celebrating at all, so I think he must have assumed he was offside there. But a terrible ball from what looked to be Liner, who passed it in, led to a very nice, simple counter-attack. Yeah, it was very, very close on the offside there. I think Havertz actually thought it was off. Very simple chance, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Tucks it in, and Havertz continues his goal-scoring form. It's 1-0 Leverkusen.
Kieran, go on. What's happened in your game?
It's 1-1, and that is a stunning finish from Srbeny, the Paderborn striker. But I tell you what, Bakakic was pumping his chest. He's done it all wrong. Outside the box, they were just passing it round the back. He takes a dodgy touch. You thought Akpaguma was bad last week. He's just as bad. He went to control it, went to pass it, but it was the weakest pass you'll ever see. And outside the box, Srbeny takes it first time and finesses it round Baumann into the top corner from outside the box. 1-1. What a game.
Bloody hell. Not even 10 minutes into this match, and it's already 1-1. Great start there. 2 goals. As you can see, obviously, Bikacic already on a 5.1 because of the error leading to the goal. In terms of the Dortmund game, how are we looking there? Still 0-0?
Yeah, still a cagey affair. Like I said, it's been definitely not like Dortmund. They're a little tense on the ball. Like I said, Piszczek's given it away a few times. Wolfsburg are right on top of them whenever Dortmund have the ball. There's been a few breaks down the right-hand side for Hakimi, but nothing's really come of him so far. Weghorst has had 1 chance, which he's hit his head and went over crossbar. That's about it so far.
Not too much going on there, of course. I think we were nearly about 10 minutes into that match. Freiburg, Werder Bremen, any shots since David Klassen's long shot earlier on?
No,
bit dead.
Freiburg, I've got a free kick from quite far, maybe 50 yards. Griffo standing over it, looking like a cross. We'll stay with you while it takes it. Cross comes in, and it's gone straight out for a goal kick.
Unlucky on that one, but as we said, you don't sleep on Paderborn versus Hoffenheim because Kieran L, you've got the thrilling game so far, 1-1.
Hello.
Great start. And looking at the table right now, of course, it's changed a little bit. Leverkusen move up into 3rd. 53 points they're on, which now means RB Leipzig, as it stands, are now in the Europa League spots, not the Champions League. Of course, they don't play today. They play on Sunday. I think Monday, actually, they play even.
Did anyone watch The Apprentice this year?
Yes.
No.
The Werder Bremen manager, I can't remember his name. It looks like the Cockney guy who came up with Tommy the Talking Turtle.
Oh, he's a hero, him, by the way.
The Werder Bremen manager looks like him.
Tommy the Talking Turtle. He's not just a toy. He's your friend. What a man.
There's a break.
Tell you what, they're just showing the finish there from Havertz again. Calm and composed. Good little finish that, actually. Good ball from Bellarabi. In fact,
me and Rowan is going on Tommy the Talking Turtle.
Jan Sommer came rushing out for that goal. I don't know whether that was the right decision, but
he's not just a toy; he's your friend.
Hey, who knows? Maybe it is him. Maybe he decided after The Apprentice to go, fuck it, I want to manage in a football club.
Oh, what does he do though? He's your friend. He's a turtle.
Oh my god, he nearly scored from straight.
That's what he might do at half time. He might use Tommy the Turtle as his half time talk.
Tommy the Turtle.
He's your friend. Not just a toy. He's your friend. It'll help you score.
The worst part was he named the turtle after himself because he's called Tom.
Yeah, that's what it was. I like that.
Tommy the Turtle's going to lead Werder Bremen to survival. That's what it is.
Boy, you know.
That is a horrific pass.
No chances in this game since the Havertz goal, but that was 7 minutes in. Havertz once again 3 goals in his last 2 games. Looking on 5, of course, 2 headers against Werder Bremen, and now a nice little neat goal, which he tapped through Sommer's legs. Beautiful goal, and of course Paderborn 1, Hoffenheim 1, Freiburg 0, Werder Bremen 0, and Wolfsburg 0, Dortmund 0 as it still stands. Of course, it's looking quite cagey in the Freiburg and the Wolfsburg games. Hopefully, we'll see a few more goals before half-time. Fingers crossed. They might all be at bloody Paderborn at this rate.
Yeah. I mean, after a 0-0 draw last week, I feared the worst. But I tell you what, we've had a fantastic start. It may be due to catastrophic defending, but it's a goal. So,
well, I'm looking now. Apparently, there's been no shots at Wolfsburg versus Dortmund. Not a single shot so far.
At all. It's been played in the middle, and Dortmund just passing it around without really going forward. They're dominating possession now. It's in the last couple of minutes. They're camped in the half. Yeah,
no, looking at the stats here, 70% possession for Borussia Dortmund here. I don't know what's happened, but Gladbach are making a change after 11 minutes here. Lars Stindl's coming on, and coming off the pitch is Embolo. I don't know whether Embolo's picked something up here, but he didn't look as if he was injured or anything, which is a bit worrying because, of course, we know what Embolo's been like injury-wise in terms of how it ruined his chances at Schalke. But Stindl's on. A weird one, that. He didn't look like he pulled up or anything, but maybe I've just missed that.
Well, we did get a chance in this Werder Bremen game, and it started with the man you dissed, Klassen, taking the ball well from, I think, Rashika, holds up the play, passes through to Selassie. Selassie plays it back, makes a lovely run. Selassie then plays it across. It's just over everyone. But luckily goes out for a throw-in. Nothing comes of the throw-in. It's still in Freiburg's half. Werder Bremen just trying to push for a goal here, though.
Was it nearly an accidental cross that turned into a goal?
No, it was a shot, sorry. It was a shot that was at what's it called, Schwallow, but Schwallow just parried it out and Rashika couldn't get to it and it went out for throwing.
Oh, I thought you meant it was an accidental shot that nearly went in. I'd have been bloody hell, that'd have been two screamers. Jebri Selassie would have scored. Yeah, no, I want to find out why Embolo's
we're getting a close-up action of Kieran's quilt. I think it says Nan something. My
quilt does not say Nan.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, just looking at the Freiburg Werder Bremen stats so far, 70% possession for Werder Bremen as well.
Yeah.
Freiburg, not the best of starts, it looks like.
Nope.
Very poor there. Of course, Dortmund also keeping 70% possession, but not the electric start would have liked.
Now. Ball comes in, the back post, he chests it! Oh, he's put it wide.
Poor.
Who was that? That was, I can't see shirt number. 18.
Oh, that's beautiful from Hakimi.
I think it's Pedersen, 18.
Oh, Ruslan's bossed him off ball.
18 there. Is indeed Niels Pettersson. Boom. You'd like to see that, right? Wolfsburg Dortmund, still no shots as of yet in that game.
Oh no, I was right. It was 21. It was Shalak. I think it's called. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but yeah, Pedersen could hit it first time, and instead he plays it, and number 21, whatever he's called.
Is it Shalai? The Hungarian Shalai.
It's a shot and it's wide. First shot of the game we've had.
There we go.
And he's put it wide.
15 minutes it's taken for the first shot in that Wolfsburg Dortmund game. Crazy.
Well, again, it's come down right hand side with Hakimi. He just tapped it back to Hazard edge area, turned onto his right foot, and he's curled it a long, long way wide.
Well, I'll tell you what, since Stindl's come on here, Gladbach have already had 2 shots. They've changed the formation up slightly. So Stindl is playing more as a cam/centre forward. Please now gone up top with Hoffman on the right. So they've changed it very, very slightly, but I don't know why Embolo's gone off. I am just going to very quickly check why. I'd assume it's got to be an injury that is just picked up. I'm going to have a quick check. Embolo, let's have a gander. Let me see. Yeah, he's picked up an injury. It didn't look like he'd... It didn't look like anything had gone on there, but he must have kept fairly quiet about that injury because he didn't say about being subbed off or anything. So fair play to him if he tried to continue on, but I guess at the same time it's not worth, especially
Werder Bremen are very close. Bittercourt shoots, it's in.
Boom, 1-0.
Absolute nowhere. It was either Moisander at the back, taking it past two Freiburg players, gets absolutely carted, but plays an amazing ball through to Bittencourt. It was Bittencourt, I think, Sargent up front with a lot of open space. I'm just watching it now. So it was David Klassen who plays an incredible ball through to Bittencourt. It was Bittencourt who had an open man, but he said he shoots straight past Schwallow. What a goal!
Boom.
That pass from David Klassen was
goal.
Incredible. After you dissed him.
Well, I tell you what, the form of dissing players continues.
And Klassen's been good at Werder Bremen. He really has. He's been their best player, apart from Rashica.
Sargent. Boom, there we go. Bittencourt. Sargent's been incredible for him. Josh Sargent.
I don't think he's been as good as Klassen. If he's a striker and he's still got as many goals as the midfielder.
He usually plays as a winger, not a striker. Josh Sargent. But there you go. It's been given to Bittencourt, the goal, quality, and of course, David Klassen.
That's why it was given to him.
There we go. Massive goal there. No, it's all right.
I was like, I did say he scored clearly, right?
And with that goal, as you can see with the Bundesliga table right now, 2 points now separate Dusseldorf and Werder Bremen for that relegation playoff spot. Massive goal there, and it means it's even worse for Paderborn. Of course, if Paderborn don't win this game and drop points, they'll be 4 points behind Werder Bremen.
I tell you, I was going to say that just when things were going reasonably well for Paderborn, the people around them have started scoring. But Skov almost scored again, but it was cleared off the line. He did get taken out by the goalkeeper, but it's no foul or anything. It's just a corner. But cleared off the line by Collins, I think it might have been.
Bloody hell, nearly three goals already in that game. We're just waiting for one goal in this Dortmund game now, but still looking at the stats-wise, it still says there's only been one shot, which was from earlier.
Yep. Wolfsburg are defending really well. They've just had a little move themselves down left-hand side of Roussillon. I can't really say anything else other than that about Wolfsburg. They've been quite poor going forward.
Yeah, no, possession-wise, now it's even higher for Dortmund. 75.2% possession. They really are playing Burnley football here in terms of let's sit back, do nothing, and hoof it up to the to the tall strikers, but it doesn't even look like the hoofing balls anywhere right now because they've got absolutely no possession of the ball so far.
Tell you though, Erling Haaland has been poor so far. He's been trying to get 1-2s off with Brandt, and it's just not coming off any time. He's getting a little bit frustrated as I can see. He don't look as good as he's been past few games for Dortmund so far. Obviously, it's only 20 minutes and a lot can change.
Plenty of time left in that. Gladbach, Leverkusen, still not been any shots. Got a free kick here, actually. It's been whipped in, but not with much conviction, unfortunately. And it's been counted as offside as well. But 65% possession for Leverkusen right now. But Gladbach aren't looking too bad. At all. It could be a couple of goals in this one, hopefully. Fingers crossed. 4 shots already in Freiburg, Werder Bremen. It looks like he's starting to pick up there now.
Yeah, a little bit more. Just had another shot there from Bittencourt, it looks like, on the wing. Not much came from it. Easy take. Freiburg have been great, though. Really, I feel like this game does deserve to be a draw. Freiburg have really been trying to push into Werder Bremen's half, but Werder Bremen have just been resilient. Griffo's been great for Freiburg so far this game. But yeah, still 1-0 to Bremen, and unfortunately, I don't see it changing. Oh, yeah, that's a foul. I think not Rashica, someone, and they are not. Someone's giving him a bad trim. It was Friedel, I think.
But is it as bad as Kevin Trapp?
Oh God.
Nah, skinhead. No, Friedel's got a love heart in his head. Is what it looks like. Pavlenka, he's got all right head. He's not got any of the Bremen manager, the Freiburg manager, so we'll let him off. He does. He's old. I'll let him off. Who else have we got? Griffo's got a lovely hair.
We've got to try and find the worst possible haircut over these next couple of weeks as we do these watch-alongs.
I think Mbabu.
Do you think?
No,
What-
that's
what is-
that Harris.
All right. Schlager, he's channeling his inner Jimmy Bullard for sure. He's got his ponytail in this time, very small one.
Do you know what? I'm going to make an argument in my game for Grilic because it looks like Grease Lightning's come to life a little bit late because he's just greased all his hair back. It's just not a good look.
Was a ball through here, Haaland? Oh, keeper's out quickly.
I'm just looking at the Hoffenheim game. 4 shots for Hoffenheim already. Apparently, Bebu a couple of minutes ago missed a chance.
It's been bloody brilliant.
Bittercall on the wing. Bittercall doesn't play it in. Okay, yep, he tries to and he just goes out.
He was played well. Sabeni, the striker for Paderborn, when they can get it into his feet and he can hold it up and wait for people to join him, it's quite well worked, but it's just getting it to him. I don't think they're very good at build-up play. Dare I say, that's why they're bottom.
Got to say here, this Wolfsburg Dortmund game is not looking exciting at all.
Well, that was the first time that the ball had actually gone probably through the defenders there from, I think it was Thomas Delaney. It was either him or Hummels for sure. Got similar haircuts on the as I'm looking. One of them two it was, but played a ball through and it was just a bit too far ahead of Haaland.
At least you're not getting confused between Hazard and Guerrero.
Good chance here for Havertz. He's onside. Demir Bay, heavy touch.
No. I can definitely see the difference between those two. No, I can't. You can't. The thing is, Dahoud's got quite short hair as well.
He does as well.
Stats-wise, the highest rated player on the pitch right now is Piszczek with a 6.8.
I would not say he's given the ball away a fair few amount of times as Lucas Piszczek so far. It looks a little bit shaky, but who scored never lies.
It never lies. Apparently, the 2 highest rated players on the pitch right now are Piszczek and Hummels, with a 6.8 and a 6.5.
It should be Thomas Delaney, I think.
Maybe it's the fact they've had no shots and had nothing to do.
Maybe.
That could be the reason why. I had a little chance in this Leverkusen game. Somebody's gone down injured here. Dragovic, but he looks like he's limping. Is he gonna try and come back on?
Former Leicester legend Alexander Dragovic.
Is indeed. That is the one. The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, no, he's coming back on here. And the limp disappears. It's like magic. The sponge has worked its charm.
All right, I am back. There's a penalty shout here. It's not being given, but
Ball's whipped in by Wolfsburg at back post. It's headed just wide by, I think, is it Voot? Yep, it is Voot. He's headed it just wide.
Oh, well, he could have nearly been 12 goals away from £50 to Rowan.
Well, it was Mehmedi. It was a great cross in, and Voot Vegas, he's leaning back a little bit and heads it just wide.
I thought you were getting Mehmedi and Vegas confused then.
No. I can definitely tell the difference between those two.
Yeah, in my game, Freiburg just had another chance at attacking Holler, making him way through, and I think it was Selassie making a great last-ditch tackle. Clearly gets the ball, the Holler goes down, but great tackle. And Freiburg have been unlucky, but Werder Bremen defense have been great, and they've counter-attacked so well this game. 26 minutes in.
Havertz nearly went through on goal in mine. He's looked dangerous, and I tell you what, Leverkusen's manager Peter Bosch never looks impressed. He's very serious on the touchline. I don't think I've ever seen him smile in a game, but not too bad from Havertz. He's looking dangerous.
There's a Paderborn centre-back, right? And it's got nothing to do with the game, really. But he's wearing a helmet. But do you know, like Petr Cech's helmet looked like cushy and bouncy? This helmet looks a bit like they've shoved a watermelon on his head but coloured it grey. It's not the best helmet I've ever seen. That sounds... Oh.
Kieran, a professor of the helmets.
Yeah, I knew cycling and health helmet.
Exactly, cycling.
I think Plea was asking for a penalty shout in this game, but the referees basically just waved it away completely. But
it's a great ball.
It's gone a bit quiet, this one.
Gunter punts it in, and no one gets. Schmidt just takes it and goes fucking to next week. I've already saw my bad.
Good chance. Bellarabi. Demir Bay's running here. He's not had a bad game. Go on, Demir Bay. Cuts in. Into the midfield. Visa. Oh, that's unlucky. That was a good ball. Corner. Not bad here. Not bad. Good defensive clearance from Liner.
Hoffenheim are having a lot of joy down that right-hand side with Kaderabek. He is.
Kieran, you need to stop jiggling your knee because it looks very suspicious.
My hands are here.
When you can't see your hands.
I'll keep my hands up here because it's like, I don't know, it's what I do. But anyway, yeah. So Kaderabek, even though he's playing right back for Hoffenheim, he seems to be their best attacking player, because he's putting in some brilliant crosses in, and we almost just had another goal there for Hoffenheim.
Oh, Bender.
Bit rude.
Well, Sven Bender had a lovely opportunity. Corner was whipped in. It's bobbled about to Sven Bender, and he's tried to hit it on the half volley, and it's probably knocked out one of the cardboard cutouts in the crowd. Good chance, though. Good chance.
One of the dolls are down. The dolls are down.
Did you hear how much that club got fined for having those?
Which club was
in
it?
the stadium? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I heard they got fined 100 million yen.
Wow.
To be fair, I'm kind of intrigued whether they had to get a refund from the website that they bought them from.
They didn't provide what we needed.
Yeah.
7-day window for returns.
Why are you returning them? Turns out they're not allowed to be in a football stadium.
They got fined £763,725.38 sterling.
Oh my god.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's funny. It's funny because
I just love how they were like, oh, well, we didn't know they were sex dolls. But where'd you bloody buy them from then?
The chairman has a contact.
Oh, good chance here. Bellarabi, good save from Sommer. This Leverkusen side are very, very strong today. Sommer's having to work hard here, the 6-foot Swiss goalkeeper.
he seems small for a goalkeeper, does Jan Sommer. I don't know why. He just never seems to fill a goal.
It's a weird one because, as you said, you think he's so small, but he's always so consistent. It's crazy.
Yeah, he is. He's very much a shot stopper, though. I don't think of him as like coming and claiming every cross. And
no. Imagine him trying to go up against like Vogger, who's 6'5".
Yeah,
trying to claim a cross. It's just never going to happen. But I tell you what, in terms of shots wise, we've got 8 shots so far in Paderborn versus Hoffenheim. We've had 7 so far in Gladbach versus Leverkusen. We've had 7 in Werder Bremen and Freiburg. We've had 2 in Wolfsburg Dortmund so far. Haaland is on a 6 and is, in fact, the worst performing player behind Ginczek.
I mean, I don't think Ginczek touched the ball. Not that I can remember. And Haaland's touched the ball and not really done much with it.
I tell you what, Brandt's on a 6 as well. Has Brandt not done much on the ball either?
He's here now on the ball. He's found the Hood who's flicked it to nobody. It's Castiles collects it. He's just been wasteful with what he's had of the ball. He's had a lot of the ball.
Just for Freiburg. Hula pulls through. Oh, and it's a corner. But that was lovely. Well played by Freiburg. Corner for Freiburg. But
I think the question is, and I know obviously we're still only half an hour into these games, I don't think much can be said about yours, Kieran, in terms of Wolfsburg Dortmund. But do you feel like the pace has maybe not improved drastically, but very, very slightly from last week? I'll take that as a yes.
Is he talking to Kieran Dillon or me?
No, he's talking to you two.
I'm saying in terms of just all the games in general. Do you feel like the pace has increased very slightly?
You know
I can't
what?
say anything, honestly.
Not even slightly. This game has been played at a tempo. No one.
Oh, Sommer. Sorry to butt in. That was very, very risky. You've just talked about him not being a shot stopper necessarily. He nearly just messed that up. Then he went to go and do a fake shot to try and cross it. And Havertz was absolutely standing in his way and he nearly fucked that up. We had to just clear it out for throwing. Very risky.
Oh, he's hit the side netting. Sorry.
It's Sterling versus Italy all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, can you all remember that?
When he came up goal on the bloody BBC thing.
I went absolutely ecstatic at like 11 o'clock at night. To then realise it was fucking side-netted.
Hazard, he pulls it back, and Haaland missed it, but it is in. It's Guerrero, I think. Yep, it is.
Boom, wow.
What a goal that is from Dortmund. 3
goals in 2 games for Guerrero as well. Boom. He's absolutely firing.
What a goal that is. That is beautifully worked down right-hand side. Pulled back, Hazard in box. Pulls it back. Haaland completely misses the ball, trying to tap it home. Slides on the floor, misses it, but Guerrero luckily is there. Julian Brandt's done brilliantly there. Like a nice piece of skill to stop it. Right foot, tip it to Hakimi. Runs into the box. Hazard pulls it back. Haaland misses it, like I said, and Guerrero taps it in.
And well, the attack's been quiet, but they've finally started to kick on here, and it's 1-0 to Dortmund. Big goal.
Has anyone ever seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Yes.
Oh,
Do you know Rowley in the film?
Yeah.
Do you know Rowley? I feel like Josh Sargent is a version of Rowley where Rowley leaves, he goes to college, and he gets like skinny. And I feel like that's a version, like an alternate version of Rowley's Josh Sargent. He just gives me the look of Rowley.
Raphael Guerrero is now on 8 goals this season.
I tell you what,
Fiery.
Bebu's been bloody awful there.
Leverkusen have changed their formation up here. They've just gone, fuck it, we're just going to go all out attack. They've changed from a 4-3-3 to now Bellarabi, Havertz and Diaby all playing pretty much up front.
There is a sub in my game. It's Werder Bremen. I don't know who's coming on or who's coming off, but someone stood on the line. It's not Moisander. Is that? I think it's Kevin Vogt's come off.
Well, the big centre half.
I'll tell you when it pops up.
He's come on or off?
Off, I think.
Yeah, he was playing in a midfield role today, and he has. It still hasn't come up on mine yet. Who's been
I think
subbed
it
off?
was Vogt. It looked like Vogt.
Hey, Bernaldo's finally in the chat. He says Guerrero's doing well, and Babu is lost on the wing. Yeah, and Babu's not seen much of the ball, but we've got a break on for Wolfsburg here. Oh, I couldn't find Big Voot in box. Still with.
Story of the game. You're just going to find Big Boot.
He needs 13 goals. I did say that if Weghorst scored 13 goals today, Rowan would get 50 quid. He's a bit shy right now, but he's still got a chance.
Half time. And also something big's just happened in Kieran's game.
Oh, Paderborn have hit the bar. I tell you what, I'm so glad this has been end to end. It was a brilliant cross. And I tell you what, I'm not sure if it came off. It did. It came off Rudy, and he needed it in the box, but he needed it off the bar, luckily, and not into his own net. What a game.
A free kick's just been given against Erling Haaland for he was trying to pass the ball and he's kicked the back of Roussillon's ankle. He's been rolling around the floor for I'd say about a minute now. Erling Haaland, definitely the worst I've seen him play in the Dortmund shirt for sure in these opening 5 minutes.
I've got to say though, with the Paderborn Hoffenheim game, I think you perfectly said it, Kieran D. You said it'd be an all right game because both of these sides do desperately need the points.
Yeah. Neither of them can really defend either.
No, and that's what makes the game so exciting. So far, 11 shots in that game, 8 for Hoffenheim. Paderborn have only had 3, but I tell you what, it just sound like 3 close chances. What's happened in Freiburg, Werder Bremen?
Again, Gunter, the captain, down the wing again. Ball comes in. Shall I chest it down? And Holler shoots and wide again. Holler's had this opportunity 3 times now, and he's missed it every single time. Kieran, what's happened to Paderborn? You've just done another reaction.
I know, it's every single attack. There was a great ball. I can't really tell who by, but everything for Paderborn is crosses into the box. They're not very good at building it and passing between the lines. That's not their style. So it's whipped in, and it goes right to the back post. It's an open header, and he bloody heads it over the bar. Paderborn will rue these missed opportunities.
To give you an update, Vogel was taken off. Bargfreder, the midfielder, has come on, and the goal in the Dortmund game was assisted to Thorgan Hazard. So that's another assist for the Belgium. Good to see.
I've just seen the goal. Just seen the goal back though. Sorry about that, Ron. The miss from Haaland, he just slips over. It's so comical. You need to see that on the highlights. He should be burying that.
Yeah, they've just showed Vogt limping off, so that's not good for Werder Bremen.
And Bargfried last week were bloody awful when I saw him. He just looks old. Honestly, he's so slow. I don't know if you'll see it wrong, but he's honestly so bloody slow.
Ronaldo says he just woke up. Cheers all. You woke up at the perfect time because to tell you what, these games so far, I know Dortmund and Wolfsburg's been a bit slow, but the game's coming to life. And looking at
finally got goals. We finally got goals.
And I said, well, he's only just walking up. And then I went, he's American.
Yeah.
With the points on the board right now, Dortmund are 1 point behind Bayern. Of course, they play Frankfurt tonight at 5:30. It's close now. Leverkusen in third still. Of course, they're still 1-0 against Gladbach, which means as the league is looking right now, Gladbach have dropped into fourth place. Leipzig have now dropped into the Europa League spots, but they, of course, still do have a game in hand and can go back into third. If results stay the same, Wolfsburg looking awful right now. They're on 39 points, but because Freiburg 1-0 down as well, the table stays as it is. It could be a massive opportunity for Schalke to go back into sixth place if they can win their game, and of course, if results stay the same.
Sure.
As for the bottom of the table, Werder Bremen 2 points still behind the playoffs. How are you?
Can you check Werder Bremen's rating for
Bittencourt? Bittencourt's on a 7.3 right now. He's the highest rated player.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because he's been outstanding this game for Werder Bremen. He's the reason they're winning.
And it's interesting because, sorry to butt in, because he was awful in the last game, I think. I don't know if anyone could agree with me. When the game, of course, they played against Leverkusen, it was terrible.
Definitely.
Yeah. He missed that glorious opportunity. I can't remember what score it was at the time. It might have only been...
I think it was 2-1 when he missed it.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, and he went through 1-on-1 and just blazed it over the bar. Really poor, but oh well.
I mean, we've only got a couple of minutes here before we do dip into half time. Scores wise, let's keep it to date. Paderborn 1, Hoffenheim 1. Skov opened the scoring in the 4th minute. Sveni then equalised in the 9th. But since then, no goals since. But 12 shots in that game, but Prodger just recently missing a high chance there, 6 yards into the box with his head. In that game, Gladbach 0, Leverkusen 1. Massive goal there. Havertz opening the scoring in the 7th minute. It's a big goal for Leverkusen. It does drop Leipzig into the Europa League spots, but no goals. And not really many chances, to be honest, since the goal went in the 7th minute. Dortmund finally opened the scoring. It's taken a while. 32 minutes into that game, the Portuguese midfielder continues his scoring form. 3 goals in his last 2 games. He's been on fire recently for Dortmund. Thorgan Hazard with the assist there. There's only been 3 shots so far. And as for Freiburg versus Werder Bremen, it's 1-0 to Werder Bremen. Bittencourt running the show there, 7.3. In fact, I believe that is the highest rated player as of current, apart from Havertz, of any player on the pitch today. Vogger did come off injured, unfortunately. But it does sound like it's been a pretty interesting one there. 10 shots overall. 6 shots for Freiburg, 4 for Werder Bremen. Not looking too bad at all. Good pace to these games so far.
How's your game going, Josh? You haven't really been speaking on that much. Has it just been back and forth?
It's been very quiet. I think the last time I said it had been 3 shots to Leverkusen, 2 shots to Gladbach. Gladbach haven't had any shots since. Although here they come now. Now it's been very quiet. Leverkusen holding the ball quite a bit. I think Leverkusen have realised that although Gladbach have had a couple of shots, they're not at the race today. Hence why they've changed from a 4-3-3 to a 3-4-3. I do feel like I think Peter Bosz in his head must be thinking here, if I get a second goal, it doesn't look like Gladbach are going to get into it. But it's been fairly quiet. Fairly quiet so far. I mean, how's the Dortmund-Wolfsburg game going? Is it picked up any?
Not really. Wolfsburg have come back into it in the last 5 minutes for sure. They're getting they're getting forward now, obviously, because they need a goal to get anything out of this game. But there's definitely a sense of if they push forward, they could get hit on the counter like they did right for the first goal. They're just inside the Dortmund half now. Not really doing much with ball. They just had a free kick which was floated in, and Berkey caught it quite simply. Nothing really happening for Wolfsburg.
I'm just looking at Wolfsburg's possession for each of the players right now, just to get a rough understanding of how much of the ball they've had. The highest player on the pitch in terms of possession-wise is 4% at the back, Pongrapsic. In terms of the 2 strikers in this game, they've had an average of 1.8% possession between them, which is awful. Zinchek, as you said earlier, I don't think you said he'd even had a touch, pretty much. He's on a 5.7.
I can't remember him touching ball. That one must have been 10 minutes ago that I said that, and I still can't remember him touching ball.
So it's a quiet one there. It's a very quiet one. I don't know what they could do. Of course, Steffen last week played up top and didn't do too bad against Augsburg, but they do seem to be very highly dominated in terms of possession, and not really chances, but 68% possession still for Dortmund. They are not doing too bad at all.
Yeah, I think Werder Bremen's standout player has definitely been Schlager in the midfield. He's winning the ball back quite a bit, driving forward, but the final ball's just lacking a little bit for him.
He's hit it. Oh, a massive chance here. Fumble in the box. Gladbach nearly had a great opportunity there to equalise. Radecki there. Benzi Baini decided to hit one from outside of the box, which Radecki fumbled. Plea went to go and try and tap it in, but somehow it stayed outside of the goal, and it should be 1-1.
It's so stressful watching this Freiburg game because Freiburg have done everything right in terms of getting on the wings, Shalai getting on the wings, putting them crosses in. But Werder Bremen defenders just standing it out. We've just had a chance there. It's Holler again running in. But Pavlenka
Big Fruit Begos is not happy. Sorry, Ron, but Big Fruit Begos is not happy.
What's happened?
The ball played over at top to him, and it was just so far in front of him, and he just turned around and went absolutely mental. Who was it who played the ball? I think it was Memedy who played the ball through. Or not happy. You don't hang a big voot and get away with it.
I mean, he must have heard our video, and he desperately wants those 13 goals.
I question Wolfsburg's decision to play both Ginczek and Vu when they both are very similar.
Came into the edge of the area. That's a terrible shot. I think it's Hazard. Yeah, it is. It's Hazard who's had the shot. First time. That should have been 2-0.
I'm going to quickly ask about the Paderborn game because I've just looked at the stats. Even though you've not said much about it, it still looks like there's been a couple of chances here and there.
Oh, you should see the animated nature of every single shot that has been attempted. Because honestly, it has been end to end, and there's been a shot from the halfway line, which was horrific. But apart from that, do you know what? Paderborn have had their fair share of chances, but so have Hoffenheim. I think a draw at the moment's a fair result, even though it came from a mistake from Hoffenheim. But if Paderborn could add a bit of clinical nature to their attacking, there's no reason they couldn't lead this game. And it's been, as I say, lots of golden opportunities and very fun to watch.
14 shots altogether, which is higher than Gladbach, Leverkusen, and the Dortmund game put together in terms of shots.
Roussillon's been very poor. Very poor.
He stands out 5.8 rating.
He's given the ball away 5 or 6 times, and he's passed it out of play a few times as well. The decision not to start Tavio, obviously crossed the ball for the first goal for Wolfsburg last week, might not have been the best choice.
I'm looking at the average rating now. They're the lowest rated side.
Cleared away.
5.99 average team rating right now. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players under a 6 rating right now. Castell's on a 5.8. Roussillon 5.8. Lowest rated player still is Ginczek, which probably proves why he's not really had any chances to even touch the ball in this match.
But yeah, like Kieran said, it's struggling to see why they're playing 2 of them. Ginczek's been non-existent in the first 44 minutes of this game. Don't think he's done anything with the ball. Or like I said, I can't remember him touching the ball for Wolfsburg. They are inside the Dortmund half now, though.
Game's going into half time. I think Freiburg, Werder Bremen is still in additional time. Paderborn is now at half time. Leverkusen is still in the 44th minute. As for the Wolfsburg game, probably just hitting additional time now, I think.
It is just hit the 2 minutes of added time.
Beautiful ball. Oh, it's unlucky. Diaby there. Who passed that? Because that was an exceptional dinked ball into the path of Diaby. Demirbay, he's had a great game so far. Just decided to lift an over the top ball for Diaby to try and head past Sommer. But he decides to absolutely chuck down a defender halfway through. And of course, that has to be a free kick.
Freiburg Bremen is hit half time. Very even game. I think possession is 50-50. He was when they last said it'll be very close.
Is indeed 51% possession Freiburg, 48% for Werder Bremen.
Wide up right hand side, he's found Piszczek, Brandt. So it's slowed down a little bit the move now. It's cleared away. Good break by Dortmund.
Oh, Demirbay's just hit the bar. That is unlucky.
Yeah, the game.
Havertz hit the bar there. Demirbay, that is unlucky. what an opportunity to make it 2-0. Havertz hits the bar. It deflects onto the path of Demirbay, who has an open goal. Somehow, I don't know how he's done it, but Elvedi has made a clearance off the line. He wasn't even in the position to make a clearance when the ball had got to Demirbay, and it should be 2-0, but I don't know how that's not gone in. Incredible defending there from Elvedi, the captain, to keep the score not being 2-0 at half time. But
Josh, can you just check Haaland's rating for me?
I can indeed.
See what they've put it as on who scored.
They put it as 6.1, which is the lowest rating of any player for Dortmund right now.
Been awful. There was a long ball down the line to Mbabu. Yeah, he's been awful as Haaland. It's definitely the worst I've seen him in a Dortmund shirt. But they're lucky that they've got so many good players in their team, because they're kind of just playing without him, to be honest. Been very, very non-existent. We just hit half time in this game as well.
I mean, Goetze is still on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, get him on. No, you can't. It's just been a little lackluster. He's not really done much with the ball when he's had it, and he's given the ball away a few times. Of course, they've got Gio Reyna and Sancho on the bench to come on.
And then we got the half-time whistles being blown in our game as well. So that's all the games at half-time. As you can see score-wise right now, Paderborn 1, Hoffenheim 1. There's been 16 shots in that first half. Crazy match. Skov in the 4th minute, opening the scoring before Subeni equalised in the 9th minute. Of course, both teams desperately need the points in this game, so it could be a well and truly exceptional second half of football with the way it's going right now. Of course, Paderborn, I think that's the most shots Paderborn have had for quite some time in the Bundesliga in games, so it's a lively one in that match. Leverkusen Gladbach 1-0 at half-time to Leverkusen. 7th minute goal from Kai Havertz. Late on in that match, Havertz did hit the bar, and Demirbay missed a exceptional opportunity to make it 2-0, but somehow Elvedi cleared it off the line. It's been a bit quiet match, to be honest, but there's been 11 shots so far. Dortmund 1, Wolfsburg 0. Guerra, 32nd minute, opening the score, and it's been pretty quiet in terms of shots. There's only been 4 there. Possession-wise, Dortmund dominating 66.1% possession, and Wolfsburg have been very, very poor today overall. And half-time, Werder Bremen 1, Freiburg 0. Bittencourt, he was terrible last week against Leverkusen. He's been exceptional today, 7.4 rating. He's been running the show, but as Rowan has perfectly said, Freiburg have been pretty solid in this game so far. 6 shots. They're holding the possession well. Can they get back into that game, do you think, Rowan, in the second half?
Definitely. They've been Gunter pinging them balls down the wing. They're just lacking that final finish. I think it'll come. A goal will definitely come. But at the same time, Bittencourt has been amazing for Werder Bremen. And I think there's definitely going to be more goals second half, for sure. I
mean, of course, Bargfred has already had a yellow card. He's only been on the pitch for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is pretty poor. 6.1 rating, of course. He's not been on for long, but not exactly good to be booked within 10 minutes of coming on. The Dortmund game, Wolfsburg have looked absolutely horrendous. Stats-wise, only 1 shot, 34% possession, average rating of 6 for the whole side. Ginczek's been awful. Weghorst has not done much. He's not, unfortunately. He needs 12 goals in the second half. Rowan will be desperate for them. Do you think there's any way for Wolfsburg to get back in this one, or is it this game already done and over?
They need to change formation because it's not working. Like Kieran said, I also don't understand why he's playing them both up front together. It's definitely not working. They need to change something at half time. Maybe take Ginczek off, put someone else in the midfield because they're being overrun. Julian Brandt has found himself behind those 2 midfielders countless amounts of times. Guerrero's just ghosting past Mbabu. Something needs to change, but they probably can't get into it because Dortmund have looked quite shaky at times as well.
Yeah, no, the highest rate player right now for Dortmund is still Piszczek, 7.2 he's on. Even with all the goals going in there, Guerrero's just behind him on a 7.1, Hazard on a 7.0, of course, with that assist. Apparently, Piszczek's the best player on the pitch right now. I don't know whether you agree with that or whether you still disagree from earlier.
Raphael Guerreiro for scoring the goal, and he's him or Thomas Delaney for me.
Yeah, Delaney's on a 7.1 as well, so they've not been doing too bad. Gladbach Leverkusen 1-0. It's been a tight affair. I don't think Gladbach have made the most of their 4 chances they've had. Of course, Mbola picking up an injury within the first 10 minutes means Stindl has had to come on, and the side has changed very, very slightly. But you can see right now in terms of average rating, nobody is above a 7 apart from Elvedi, of course. Fantastic clearance off the line there. Thuram, Plee, Hoffman, Stindl. Nobody's above a 6.3 right now, which just proves why they've been so far up top. But Havertz has been exceptional so far. He's the highest rated player in the Bundesliga right now in terms of the games that are currently being played. He could have already had 2 goals before half time. He could have had 4 goals in 2 games, so not too bad there. But Gladbach, they need a win in this game, of course. A draw would be the worst case scenario for both sides in that match. And Paderborn-Hoffenheim, it's a tough one to ask here, Kieran, but I don't think it's possible to tell who's going to win this one.
No, if you look player for player, the quality is clearly on Hoffenheim. I think that's been obvious throughout the season. And you can take a lot that Paderborn's only goal has come from a Hoffenheim mistake. But they have had chances. They've hit the bar, obviously. But if I was going to edge it to anyone, I'd say Hoffenheim just based on quality of player. But if Paderborn could actually finish the chances, there's no reason they couldn't win this game. Because Hoffenheim haven't blown them away.
No, I'm looking ratings-wise here. Kaderbarak's the highest rated player, 7.9 so far.
He's deserved it. He's been, to be fair, he's been the only one that's created anything really in terms of Hoffenheim. And when he has created something, I know earlier he drilled a great cross into Bebu, and his touch just let him down. And he had some nice link-up play earlier, and then the touch let I think it might have been Gregorich down. So
I'm looking at that one, but Skov 7.1. Of course, he scored in this game. Bikasic is on a 5.2. We made that error earlier in the game. Of course, Benny getting the important equaliser in this match 9 minutes in. As you said, they are looking very slightly shaky at the back. Baumann is on a 5.9. Of course, they've had 6 shots so far in this match, Paderborn. They've got plenty of time to try and get a winner, of course. Both sides need the points. One of them's fighting for the Europa League spots. One of them is fighting for survival. And talking about survival, you can look at the table right now as it stands at half-time in this game. Because Werder Bremen are winning, Paderborn desperately do need these 3 points right now because that table is looking incredibly even more tighter now at the bottom than it did earlier. 3 points separate Werder Bremen and Paderborn. It could go down to 1 point separating Paderborn and Werder Bremen. But even better, if Paderborn win and take the extra 2 points, there'll only be 3 points separating Dusseldorf and Paderborn. The entire relegation bottom 3 could flip.
Yeah, and we said on the weekend, or during the podcast, sorry, and it kind of got put into fruition last night. I worried for Union Berlin without their fans, and they got dismantled last night, literally. So I'm worried that they might drop themselves down. I know they're a bit away at the moment, but I worry for them.
I mean, looking at the table right now, in terms of Mainz, Augsburg, Frankfurt, Union Berlin, Cologne, they have all not played games today. Frankfurt, they're on 28 points. They play tonight against Bayern Munich. That's 5:30 kickoff. They're on 28 points. They desperately need to pick up points. But more than anything, whoever Dusseldorf is playing, which we'll have a look at the rest of the fixtures for the weekend very shortly, they desperately need to pick up a win if both Werder Bremen and Paderborn pick up points because they could really be thrown back into... relegate. I mean, they're already down there anyway, but they could be thrown into instant relegation. Same with Mainz as well, 27 points. Although the 4 clear of Dusseldorf, a win for Dusseldorf could put Mainz and Augsburg and Frankfurt right back into the relegation scrap. In terms of the top of the league, I'll let you go, Ron.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what, the Freiburg Stadium is absolutely beautiful. It looks like it's in the middle of a forest. Carry on.
No, it's all right. Let me have a look. There we go. Hertha Berlin, they are not playing. Of course, they played last night. Fantastic win 4-0 in that Berlin derby, of course, as you just said before, Kieran. 2 losses for Union Berlin now. No goals scored for them either. They're missing their fans for sure. It means Hertha Berlin are now in 10th place on 34 points. And just like that, as we said before, some of these sides are going to come back into the league. Of course, when we were talking about Hertha Berlin before this break started, they were looking awful form-wise. But now 2 wins on the bounce, 34 points. They are only 5 points off a Europa League spot right now. In fact, as you can see there, Wolfsburg in 6 on 39 points, losing this game. Hertha Berlin, of course, down there in 10th. That Europa League position, the one position that is left there, because, of course, Leipzig are flying away with the rest of the league. As you can see, Leipzig 51 points. It's a tight one. You can see there, Cologne, Hertha Berlin, Hoffenheim, Schalke, Freiburg and Wolfsburg. There's only 6 points separating these sides. It's tight down there. And I think, I know we're only 2 games back into this start of the rest of the season, but who do you think right now is looking the more likeliest of teams to finish in that 6th place position?
I don't know, because if we're basing off today, I'd say Freiburg. But in terms of playing well, because Wolfsburg were obviously losing. Schalke are not playing today. Hoffenheim, they're drawing out there.
They are indeed. 1-1.
Freiburg are obviously losing, but they have just looked so dominant. But I don't know. It's up in the air, isn't it, really?
I guess you could still say it's very early to say.
Looking at the teams from what I'm witnessing, Freiburg, as much as they were convincing to an extent against Leipzig, and they could have won that game, from the sounds of it, they haven't been at the races today.
Yeah, they have.
I thought they're losing, aren't they?
Yeah, no, but in terms of they're playing very well. They're just lacking that finish.
Well, they're losing. So if they lose, then Wolfsburg, they're losing and have been crap. Schalke haven't been the same for a while. Hoffenheim have looked crap. I'm going to go with Hertha because they're the only team that seems to have got any sort of form. I know we're only 1 week back, but in terms of consistently both games, they've done really well. And they beat Hoffenheim away. So I'd go with Hertha.
Well, I'm just looking at Hertha now. I want to kind of have a rough idea of what fixtures they've got to come, just to get a rough idea of who they've still got to play. But in terms of the games that's still coming on this weekend and midweek, Frankfurt and Bayern is tonight, of course, 5:30, big game there. Sunday, Schalke face off against Augsburg. It's Schalke's first game at home behind closed doors. That's at 12:30, of course. Augsburg fighting for survival. And Schalke fighting for those European spots. And then the 2:30 kickoff on Sunday is Mainz versus Leipzig once again. Leipzig will definitely need to pick up points if the scores stay the same. They are now in the Europa League spots as it stands. As for Mainz, they need the 3 points as well, because if these relegation teams pick up points today, it could mean massive things, because 5 o'clock's kickoff is Cologne versus Dusseldorf. Once again, it's the same situation of what it is for Schalke and Augsburg. Cologne need to pick up points as they try and push towards a Europa League spot. Dusseldorf, depending on what it is at half time here, they could really, really need to pick up the 3 points more than ever. It's a tough game, that one. Very tough game.
I worry for Leipzig, because what we saw from Mainz last week, Josh, was a very feisty team that seemed to really be up for a scrap in terms of trying to stay in this league. And from what I saw from Leipzig last week, they kind of crumbled under the pressure. So I think if Mainz go from the front foot straight away, I worry that they might pick up some points tomorrow.
Well, the thing is of course, they played off against Freiburg in that previous game, had 20 shots, which was crazy. They didn't look at the races at all. Timo Werner looked quite poor. Poulsen, even with the goal, wasn't doing amazing at that point. But I think Freiburg have been really good so far. They, of course, should have realistically had the 3 points against Leipzig. Very questionable offside decision from the ref in that game with VAR. But look, stats-wise against Werder Bremen here, they've not done too bad. Realistically, potentially, if Werder Bremen take the 3 points in this match, Freiburg will be looking back and thinking maybe we should have had 6 points out of 6 to start us off.
Yeah.
Which is very unlucky for them. But as you can see, midweek fixtures coming up, of course, Tuesday. It's a behemoth of a match, you might call it, in the Bundesliga. 5:30, Dortmund versus Bayern der Klassiker. We'll be covering that one live on the Sports Corner. You don't want to miss out on that one. It's going to be a big one. But then also Tuesday, 7:30, Leverkusen. Once again, they have a massive game. They'll be facing off against Wolfsburg. Eintracht Frankfurt, they will also be on at 7:30. They're facing off against Freiburg. And then Werder Bremen, they will have a big match against Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's at 7:30 on Tuesday as well. As for Wednesday, This is a tasty fixture. Leipzig will be facing off against in-form Hertha Berlin. 5:30 kickoff. That will be on Wednesday. And then 7:30, massive matches here. Hoffenheim will be facing off against Cologne. Two sides looking for those Europa League spots, of course. Dusseldorf will be facing off at home against Schalke. And then the big one. In fact, the big two games of the evening, in my opinion, both relegation battles. Augsburg are at home to Paderborn. And the big one, Union Berlin against FSV Mainz. Two massive relegation games, that's for sure, in the Bundesliga.
The Bundesliga.
It's exciting right now because I think we can all agree. You look at the games, I think every game is big right now.
Oh, Kieran, I've just seen that hat that you said that defender's wearing. It looks like he's going cycling.
It looks like a watermelon.
It does look like it looks like a watermelon. It does.
I mean, we've got a question that's come here from Chris. This isn't about the situation in the Bundesliga, but he's asked a very quick question about Newcastle. He said, "Where is it? It's vanished." There we go. Do you guys think Newcastle takeover will be a success or failure? I think it depends on Newcastle's targets. Cheers, Rowan.
We saw what the takeover did to Manchester City, and apparently these guys have got more money and a hell of a lot more money. I think, like Bernardo says, transfers will be key. I would keep Dubravka though. Dubravka.
I'd keep Dubravka. I think it is to do with targets, but do you know what? Knowing Newcastle as a club, I've just got a feeling it's going to go tits up.
No offense, they need to invest in a manager first.
Whoa!
I think they'll give Steve Bruce to end the season, and then I think they're going to go all guns blazing for Pochettino. I think.
Can you imagine though? It's crazy that when you think about it. If you'd have said a couple of years ago, Pochettino is the favourite to get the Newcastle job, you would have laughed big time.
To be fair though, they did get Rafa Benitez at a time when I know he wasn't saying as he was, but still he's managed Real Madrid and Liverpool, and then he went to bloody Newcastle.
And he would manage them when they're in the Championship as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he stuck by them, didn't he? I mean, it was very weird seeing
I've just seen
Rafa Benitez at Rotherham, but
the 12,000 cardboard cut out of the fans.
Emre,
apparently, they've got another 20,000 have been ordered as well, which is mental.
The cardboard cutouts in this Gladbach game are absolutely stunning.
And then they've got another 20. They're going to have 32,000.
I think Emre Can's come on to play at centre back. Because I can't see Hummels anywhere.
I will have a look for you just to make sure. Maybe Hummels has picked up an injury.
Delaney's there. Dahoud's there.
Yeah, Hummels come off.
Yep,
he has indeed.
So Emre Can is playing at the central centre back.
You'd hope he'd not pick up an injury when they've got Bayern Munich on the horizon. I hope it's just
That's strange. You would have thought they would have put Schmelzer in.
No, Hummels is there.
No, Hummels is
he is. What? I'm looking at Delaney. They've got similar things. But yeah,
I mean, the good news is all the games are kicked off now, if I'm correct.
Yeah, 9
We've had a chance. And it was a golden opportunity for Proger as well. Did really well, but he's dragged it wide.
Yeah, no, yours has started. Yours is quite well into it. Yours is nearly 50 minutes in, isn't it, Kieran? Mine's only just kicked off again.
It got off late. I don't know, mine definitely did. It got off a few minutes late.
Yeah, I think same here because I'm just looking now. Yeah, ours is in the 47th minute. I think Paderborn's in the 50th now.
I must be 2 minutes behind because I'm on 48 minutes here.
I know who scored is a little bit further on, but it's slow when it comes to updates. So I think updates probably hit just as they come on the screen.
Probably because I remember when all our goals go in, you're sat on that screen and it doesn't always show them straight away.
Yeah, no, it takes a little bit of time, but Dortmund game, Hummels has definitely come off. Emre Can is in centre back. Of course, you might remember him for being a centre back a couple of occasions at Liverpool.
Hakimi's lost his boot.
We're off to a good start.
He's got it back
here for Leverkusen. Diaby working the ball. It's just stood there, and it's a very awful cross. Should have done much better with that. Had a lot more time.
I know it's none of our games, but what do we all think of the Frankfurt-Bayern game later? What are we thinking? There could be a shock, or are we thinking Bayern will run away with it? Because they didn't look that convincing last week.
Maybe it's Frankfurt, though, did they?
True.
Like, they were woeful against Gladbach. I think Bayern Munich have the quality for them. I think 2-0. Well, I think I went for 3-1, didn't I? I must have gone for 3-1, but there's a chance here.
I think so.
It's 1-1. Oh, it's the crossbar.
Is it not in?
No, it's not in. It's Stefan. I think it's Stefan.
Was it another power header?
It's a blocking ball through. It's Vegos' brilliant hold-up play, and he's blazed it, and it's hit the crossbar. It is Stefan. I was right. What a chance to make it 1-1.
I have just seen the strangest defending in the world. Friedel has somehow just been able to run 5 meters unopposed. He goes 1-on-1 with Swallow, and he crosses it in. No one's there. But Friedel someone has opened the doors for him, and it's just strolled in. No one's tried to ask him where he's going. That was strange. Sorry, very strange. Friedel just walked right through that Freiburg defence.
It's a bit like Malone last week, where it seemed like no one wanted to make a tackle as he started running.
I was going to say, with your comment earlier, if Kamada's playing, then it's 4-0 Bayern. If he's not, then it'll be 4-1.
Oh,
we have got a question from Chris Welch that does say, where do you think that Kai Havertz will go if he leaves? Big shout is Liverpool, obviously. I don't think he leaves this season. I think he'll stay for maybe another season.
Do you know what the thing is with Kai Havertz is? It's a weird one because there's certain players where you can picture where they're going to go in their career. So you think like Real Madrid, Hazard was always destined to go there. But like with Havertz, I don't think that like the only club I can genuinely picture in my head is Liverpool.
I can see Bayern, but for the pure fact that that's just a history of German transfers. Not because
I think he'll stay at Leverkusen.
Well, Ballack came out and said, I think he came out in the newspaper and literally not a stay plea, but it was like stay at Bayer Leverkusen next, like stay with them because they are a team on the upwards trajectory, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be interesting for anybody who's watching. Put in the comments where do you think Havertz should go?
He'll still get European football if he stays with Leverkusen, more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends if they're in the Europa League or not. Obviously, he should be playing in Champions League.
Was it? I think it was Ballack when said Van Dijk. It's lucky that Van Dijk is. It might have been. I can't remember what else it said.
Yeah, it was Ballack.
That Van Dijk is around now because he wouldn't have to cope with Drogba, Gladbach, Adebayor, and everything was just Messi and Ronaldo.
Adebayor was sick back in his day, though. You can't sleep on prime Adebayor.
I mean, Arsenal Adebayor, yeah.
Adebayor.
Not Man City and Tottenham Adebayor.
Adebayor.
Oh, no, definitely not Man City Adebayor.
Man City and Tottenham Adebayor, no. Arsenal Adebayor.
Arsenal. Yeah. Elite.
Wolfsburg have come out kicking in the second half. They've started the second half, definitely the better side. I'm just afraid that they might get it on the counter.
I was going to ask you, how's the Paderborn Hoffenheim going? I can see there's been already a shot in that match to start us off, but no goals. Fantastic. How's Freiburg and Werder Bremen doing?
Freiburg, Werder Bremen's going. I'm about to say Werder Bremen are playing well here, but ball's just beat Selassie just kicked the ball out of play. But yeah, they've been okay. Werder Bremen have had one attacking chance. What about the Paderborn game?
How's WWE Supercard going?
I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it. I'm sorry. The game that I should be watching has been. It's been alright. It's to be fair, both teams have had one chance each. There was an underhit shot from Hoffenheim, and that shot I mentioned earlier that dragged wide from Paderborn. Not been gung ho like the first half. Ooh. Everyone else, what's going on in your games? Because you're probably listening.
Ballers just Shalai plays it through to Shtick, Schick, and ball heads it wide.
We have a goal. It's to Gladbach. It's 1-1.
Ooh.
Right back in this game. They needed that.
Who
I tell you what, they've been knocking on this door for the last couple of minutes. since this second half has started. Benzibani had a chance about a minute or two ago. He had it from outside of the box once again, thought he'd hit it, and he went for it. And I tell you what, the finish is exquisite. It's that man, Mr. Marcus Thuram, who's absolutely slotted it home on the half volley, and he doesn't give a shit that he scored. He's literally picked up the ball, no celebration, jogged back, game on, 1-1.
Well, just speaking on Havertz, Reece Allen has said Liverpool or Bayern, and then Chris Watch has put, I think Bayern for Havertz just because history of German transfers, which is understandable. Then I don't know, actually, he's put, Gladbach.
I guess it's the fact that it's
Klassen! Oh!
I mean, just look at the goal again
he collected outside the box, and no one were marking him, and he just swiped it. He's gone over the crossbar. But he has so much race. Skinhead Klassen.
That is a quality ball from the two Frenchmen connecting again. Alisson play lovely ball into him. I think the defending there from it was that Dragovic wasn't too good, but lovely little finish there. Half volley, 1-1. And I tell you what, is that VAR check? I think they're having a VAR check here.
I've just seen Kieran sigh. What happened, Kieran?
Me?
Yeah, I saw you go,
No, basically, Baumgartner
he's miles on the side.
used his pace, but it was a brilliant bit of defending by the Paderborn captain. And then it went for a goal kick. It wasn't anything interesting, don't worry.
VAR checks off, by the way, it stands as a goal. I don't even know why that's gone to VAR. That's just the most retarded decision I've ever seen to go to VAR. It's miles on the side. My nan could have seen that and she's blind. But yeah, it's 1-1.
Said the R word. I thought we were allowed to have to avoid certain words.
It's all right. It's post watershed, isn't it? It's 3 o'clock.
It's not post.
Sorry to the little kids, but they're through again. Thuram's blitzing through. He's got a chance to make it 2. Great save from Eradicate. It should have been 2-1. This could have absolutely turned around in 7 minutes. He's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Eradicate drops to the floor, gets his leg out. Quality save.
Does that mean I could say the C word?
Gets his leg out.
He's got his leg out.
His legs out.
I tell you what, though, Dragovic this time did quite well, actually. I think he was doing quite well there to outmuscle Thuram, which is crazy because, you know, Thuram's build is quality. But another chance here. Leverkusen's through on goal. Oh, he's missed it.
Oh, that's so close. It seems like there's 3 chances in 3 games. Out of the great ball over from, I think it was Gunter again. Shalai takes it, somehow gets the ball, shoots, and Pavlenka has to parry it away close.
I don't know what's happened here. I don't know whether there's supposed to be a shout of a penalty for the chance early what Thuram's had. But there's massive opportunity there for Bellarabi to go for on goal. Oh, no, and now Leverkusen is saying they want a penalty. Well, Leverkusen are trying to protest here that the chance from Bellarabi, apparently, I don't know whether it was Ginter, had very slightly clipped Bellarabi. He's not massively noticeable, but I don't know whether the ref's given a penalty here.
Just want to say that according to BT Sport, Thurman scored the equaliser for Gladbach, not Thuram, Thurman.
Go on, Thurman.
Wolfsburg have got a free kick, by the way, about 25 yards out.
Honestly, don't know what's happening here. I don't know whether... I feel like Gladbach have tried protesting for the chance Thuram had before saying Dragovic had pulled him back and it should be a penalty. But then I don't know whether the refs here called for a penalty for Leverkusen instead. I think he's going to VAR. He's going to VAR. He's going to the monitor.
While we go to VAR, there's 2 questions, 2 things. Reece Allen, will no C words or R words? And Reece Allen's how things are going with your crush, Chris. So we're getting some
conversations.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, the reason I gasped earlier is I've been double Sterling v Italy in the same game. I admitted, and I was convinced it was it.
Wolfsburg
the ref
here, though,
is taking a very long, hard look at this. He's looking at the chance between Ginter and Bellarabi. Apparently, Ginter's very slightly clipped Bellarabi, but he's been at this monitor now for about 25-30 seconds. He's still at the monitor now. I personally, if he's taken that long to look, I don't know whether he could be sure about giving a penalty, but he's coming back here. He's not actually given anything yet. He's now talking to VAR themselves. He's given a penalty. Penalty to Leverkusen.
The most anticlimactic free kick of all time just happened. Arnold straight into the wall.
Honestly, I think that is a very, very debatable penalty, but he's given it. And within 2 minutes of Thuram scoring the equaliser, there is now a humongous opportunity for Leverkusen to get... But now it's stopped. I don't know what's happening here. No, he's definitely given it. And Havertz stands on the spot here. He could have 2 goals. Yet again, he's up against Sommer, 6 foot. Is he going to save this? The answer is absolutely not. He got his hand to it, but it's saying it's 2-1 Leverkusen, and Havertz has scored a controversial penalty, and Leverkusen take the lead.
I should probably check this entire game.
2 braces in 2 games for Kai Havertz.
That is so unlucky. Like, they've just played the Ginter tackle in slow motion. His leg, when he initially makes the tackle, doesn't collide with him, but it's when his leg turns backwards that it clips him very, very slightly.
Kieran,
I don't think it's intentional.
I'm going to ask you an important question here, Kieran L. Do you think Hoffenheim can win this?
Yes, because they've still got the quality advantage.
Because currently...
Go on. I'm just saying, Paderborn arguably this second half have been the better side, but Hoffenheim just have a little bit of quality. Go on, what was you going to say?
Well, I can currently cash out. I put a £2 free bet on. I can currently cash out for £6.90 because Leverkusen are winning, Dortmund are winning, Hertha won. So if Hoffenheim win today, I have to worry about Bayern, then Leipzig, Cologne. I could cash out. I'm going to cash out.
I tell you what, I'd cash out because right now there's been 8 shots for Gladbach and 9 shots for Leverkusen. This game has absolutely turned on its head.
I've got £6.80 in my account now.
Well, we've had a lot of drama in this game, but I was just about to say, what's happened in the Paderborn Hoffenheim, because I haven't come back to that for quite a while.
No, again, it's just been little half chances for Paderborn. Like, there was a whipped free kick into the box, and the captain headed it, but it was just wide. And obviously, I had the Grilic had a close opportunity. What I do like about Paderborn's play is every time, because of what happened in the first half, every time Hoffenheim get the ball with the defenders, they're on them straight away, causing havoc. Because they know there's a mistake in them. So that's what I'm liking. But they can get picked off the other way on the counter. So all in
21 shots in that game. 21 shots in your game. 8 for Paderborn, 13 for Hoffenheim. It's mad. Wolfsburg Dortmund, has it turned into a thriller?
I tell you something, it's definitely a lot more entertaining than the first half. Wolfsburg coming back into it, been the better side in the opening 15 minutes of the half. Stefan having that glorious chance. Other than that, nothing really has happened. Wolfsburg having a lot more of the ball, though. Dortmund definitely. I'm scared that they're going to hit them on the counter-attack again.
Plenty of time left in that one. We've
got a sub. Zuba is off, and on comes the Israeli legend, Daber.
Oh, we'd love to see it. And talking about a game with a legend in, Bittencourt might have just become a Werder Bremen legend if they take the 3 points. How that's going?
Again, it's just end-to-end stuff. Freiburg having the chances. It's strange. Freiburg, Schalai and Gunter, the captain Gunter, have been playing incredibly well. I think they do need to make a change up front. Holler has just not looked dangerous. Cross has come in, though. Outside the box! What a save by Schwallow. Sorry, Pavlenka, my bad. I'm getting my thing. And it was...
Oh, it's brilliant.
27.
Oh, someone's missed it, Arnold. Oh, how has he not missed that? Oh, that should be 1-1.
That's a great save by Pavlenka.
Tell you what, these games have started to pick up now. A lot of drama going about here.
I also did put an 80p bet on all games to have 2.5 goals or more. So
you're wrong for it.
In this game, brilliant work by Big Voot down left-hand side. Come back onto his right foot, crossed it in. It missed everyone in the box. I think Akanji slipped, and Arnold wasn't expecting Akanji. It might have been Emre Can actually who slipped. Arnold didn't read the slip at all. Wasn't ready for it. He just hit him and he cleared it himself.
Werder Bremen making some subs. Someone with grey hair, and I think Asako's coming on.
There we go. So as the table stands right now, I think We're still looking, of course, Leverkusen now back in third once again. Cologne dropped to 11th. Everything still stays the same as we currently stand.
It's on the volley. What a save from Berkey.
I think Kieran Eller was going to say something a second ago. What's happened in the Paderborn game?
Just a sub. It's Holtman off for Mamba on. I think he's just said that he's one of their top scorers. I can't remember.
He is the top scorer for Paderborn this season. He's got, I think, 5 or 6 this season for them.
Yeah, Asako, and I recognise him because he's got grey hair. Who is it?
Well, this game is getting feisty now. Yellow cards are starting to come out. There was an opportunity of just a simple throw-in that's been taken. It went out for somebody made a tackle for a free kick. Of course, you're supposed to take quite a bit of distance between the free kick. Diaby's just gone straight up to Strobel, stood right in front of him as he's making the pass, and the referee's just booked him straight away.
Just had a really good chance for Wolfsburg again. Just a volley out and nothing for Stefan, and Berkey made a really good save.
And it's the sort of the hero for Werder Bremen coming off Bittencourt. Bartels has come on for Bittencourt. And
Stefan again, he's found Arnold. He's gone
Thuram's through. Thuram scored, but it's offside. He's not happy.
And it's Josh Sargent who's come off for Asako.
Oh, yeah, that is very marginally offside.
Got a sub for Wolfsburg as well. I think Breckelow's coming on.
It's the right decision this time, but...
Ginczek is off.
They are just checking that Pavlenka's not got a broken nose. It seems like he's all right. Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, Ginczek's off Breckelow. And Roussillon has come off as well.
So a couple of changes in that game.
Yeah, Klaus has come on.
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
A change in formation for sure.
It's very strange. Pavlenka holding his nose. It looks like the medics were wiping some blood off him, but it doesn't seem there actually any connection to his nose.
I tell you, this has been end-to-end. We've just had a chance there where Proger whipped it across the box, but it was such a good cross that it absolutely missed everyone because no one decided to gamble on it going there. And then at the other end, Bibu made it past the fullback, squared it to Baumgartner.
Great chance! Oh, he's missed it! How has he missed that?
Jadon Sancho is also coming on.
It really should be 2-2. It really should be 2-2. A great ball into play. Backheels it for Newhouse. Takes the most awful touch I think I've seen. And he tries to take the shot. Gets the slightest of touches on it, which he thinks is going to roll past Radicki. Somehow gets a leg to it. We've got a corner here. It's whipped in. At the back post. It's there for play. Good save. I really don't think this is going to end 2-1, which I think you've made a good decision to cash out, Rowan.
Jadon Sancho's just come on for Dortmund for Julian Brandt. Definitely one of his quieter games today. Hopefully we can get the Englishman to do something. He's just been fouled, actually. Now, Kieran, we all interrupted you. What were you saying?
I bloody forgot. I don't know. Something happened. I don't know what it was now.
I tell you what, I'm looking at the stats for your game, Kieran.
Yeah.
Well, Hoffenheim are battering them on possession.
Baumgartner had basically Bibu squared it, and then Baumgartner basically all he had to do was what Skov did, and instead he airshotted it. And,
well, they've changed formation in Hoffenheim. Have changed formations. They've changed from a 3-1-4-2. They're going for it. They are desperate for those points, and Paderborn are sticking with what they've got right now. Wolfsburg, Dortmund. I don't think Dortmund have had any shots.
There's a chance left on the side for Breckelow. He's got into the box. He's cut it back, and nobody's there.
That's poor.
Jadon Sancho's been awful since he's come on.
Substitution.
He's lost the ball twice already.
I've had a substitution in this game. Bellarabi, who got the assist for the first goal and the penalty for Havertz scores, come off for Leon Bailey, the Jamaican winger. Have Dortmund had a...
Cousin! Oh, he's just not tall enough. He's just not tall enough.
What we got?
Tell you what, I was going to ask. It sounds like the goals could go flying in that Freiburg Werder Bremen game, but I was going to ask before: has Dortmund actually had any shots on target since the first half?
Minutes, there's a stat on the screen now that Wolfsburg had 5 shots and Dortmund had 0, and the second half started 20 minutes ago. So They haven't had a single shot this half at all, I don't think.
They've not changed formation either. They're still sticking to a 4-4-2 as far as who scored staying. I don't know whether that'll change or not. But that Freiburg, what happened in that chance there?
Klaus not playing up front.
It was Werder Bremen's chance. They had a decent. Bittencourt is not happy. He is screaming at the referee from the sidelines. I think he's calling for a penalty. Bartels whips a crossing. And I thought Klassen was too small. He wasn't. It was him and the Freiburg defender, so I had a clattering. I don't think it's a penalty. I think it's just a coming together of two players. But Bittencourt are not happy at all.
Wolfsburg are dominating this game. And it's with Weghorst on edge area. He's gone down. No, he's been told to get back up by the referee. But Dortmund can't get out their own half. They're camped inside their own half. Wolfsburg,
tell you what,
possession. They've been brilliant in this second half so far.
Still only had 35% possession, but they've had 6 shots now, more than Dortmund's had, of course. Dortmund's still 1-0 up. About 20 minutes for that game to go, about 20-25, of course, if you had additional time on there. Paderborn, Hoffenheim, 23 shots. Paderborn have now had 10 shots.
Yeah, it's been a really good game to watch. I know we had the 2 goals early, but there's been no shortage of chances for both sides. But Hoffenheim are beginning to show a little bit more quality, and that might be the tired legs of Paderborn.
I tell you what, I think it's safe to say these 4 games have not been as bad as they could have been on paper.
No.
I mean, it'd be interesting here if Wolfsburg can get a goal. As Roman shrieks, has there been a goal or somebody missed a sitter?
No. Again, Werder Bremen, another crossing from a free kick. This time the Freiburg striker, Holler, ends up nearly putting it into his own net. It goes wide. But Jesus, Freiburg trying to hold on here.
Good chance for Wolfsburg here. They've won a free kick about 25 yards out on the right-hand side. And Babu absolutely cleaned out by Rafael Guerrero. And Babu's definitely been better in the second half.
Gladbach are dominating this second half. Of course, controversial penalty that came about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Leon Bailey's blazing down the wing here. Great chance for Havertz for the hat-trick. Incredible tackle from Strobel. He had to make that tackle. That was quality. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Somehow risks it by sliding in. It's still 2-1 Leverkusen. What's happened in Paderborn, Hoffenheim?
Paderborn again. They just, honestly, if they just had a little bit of finishing touch, they'd be brilliant. Basically, Mumba backheeled it round his marker. They through-balled it to Collins, who squared it back to Mumba across the box. And all he had to do was cushion it in. And he's missed his volley. He's not even touched it. Oh.
So unlucky, man. Somebody's got to surely win the 3 points in that game. 20 minutes left. 23 shots. It's the most of any game right now in the league. I mean, this Leverkusen game's had 22. Gladbach have had 12 shots now. They're through on goal again here. Great chance for play. Oh, he's missed it. He's got to connect with the ball. Not similar in the chance to Haaland, but a simple low cross into the box.
Speaking of Haaland, here now, he's found Sancho. Sancho shoots, blocks, it's come to Guerrero, shoots, right across the face of goal, out for a corner.
How's any more chances in Freiburg?
Yeah, we just had one. I think it's Shalai again. Cross comes in and he just can't. Gunter again crosses the ball. Shalai again on the ball, just tries to flick it in. And it doesn't. It just goes wide. But it's them 2 men for Freiburg who've been trying to create these chances, but a goal. And it is a sub for Freiburg. I couldn't see the numbers. It went away too quick. It's
yellow card.
It's someone who looks like Daniel Kvyat, who was an F1 driver, but it's obviously not him. Haberer comes on and Abrashi comes on.
Oh, Ben Zabani could be very lucky money to stay on the pitch. Leverkusen are adamant that should have been a red card. He clipped Wiese, didn't get the ball, although of course it was quite close to it. So I guess in a way the referee might look at that and give him a bit more of courtesy for the yellow card, but didn't get anything of the ball. He could have been sent off there. Just as Gladbach have started to really kick on in this game, very lucky not to be down to 10 men. Crazy games as it stands right now. Paderborn 1, Hoffenheim 1. That is in the 74th minute. Gladbach 1, Leverkusen 2 goals from Havertz. Controversial penalty in the 58th minute means they lead, but Gladbach are firing on all cylinders. Wolfsburg 0, Dortmund won. Guerra in the 32nd minute with that goal, but it sounds like Wolfsburg have been dominating shots-wise, so they could still get back into it. And Freiburg 0, Werder Bremen 1, Leonardo Bittencourt with the goal in that game in the 19th minute. But Freiburg, 11 shots. They could still get back into it. 20 minutes to go of these games. Everyone is well and truly still in the balance. We could see some late winners. Fingers crossed we do. We do love a late winner, unless it gets called for offside like last week.
Yeah. This game could go either way.
It's whipped in by
Hakimi. Freiburg are getting nice attacks.
Another corner for Dortmund.
Resolute defending there from Leverkusen. Great chance from, I think that was it Newhouse there, I think? Yeah, Newhouse.
So we've got some games tomorrow. We'll be live streaming on Tuesday, won't we?
We will indeed. That will be Der Klassiker, which will start at 5:15 for that one. The big game between Dortmund and Bayern, of course, we'll all be watching that. And hopefully we'll see some goals in that one, of course. Dortmund as it stands. 1-0 up in this game. Bayern playing tonight at 5:30 against Frankfurt. If Bayern lose tonight against Frankfurt, there is only 1 point between Dortmund and Bayern.
I think
no pressure.
We've got a VAR check here for a possible on ball. I think for a penalty to Dortmund, I think it's whipped in by Hakimi on the right. It's bounced a little bit, and John Brooks has got his hands kind of by his hip on the left hand side. It's hit his hand. It's not been given because Guerrero's going to take the corner. But yeah, it was definitely checked. I don't think there was much Brooks could have done about it. Corner's whipped in anyway. It's dropped by the goalkeeper. And it's still bouncing around, and it's cleared by Schlager.
Unlucky there, unlucky. Paderborn, Hoffenheim. Another shot apparently Hoffenheim's had quite recently. Zingari making a save not too long ago.
Barber's won another free kick on this round, so it's going to be a yellow card for Hazard.
What's that, sorry?
How's your game going?
Oh, well, there was a chance earlier, and De Boer had the fullback absolutely doing the okey dokey, and he tried to shoot. It was a good save by the goalkeeper. And we've just had a sub as well. Big Bayer and Geiger come on.
Whoa, fucking hell. Just shat my son then.
What was that?
What was
Fuck
that?
me. Just a random bag just fell off the top of the wardrobe. Jesus Christ. Thought somebody fell out the window. Like, what the hell? Don't see that. Jesus. I honestly, genuinely looked like somebody like dropped out the window on the ceiling or something. Oh god.
Penalty, then it weren't. Referee blew up for
Ghost bags.
Free kick for Werder Bremen.
Oh Jesus, we've got a substitute here. I don't know who it was because I thought somebody died then, but it's all right. Nobody's died. We're all good. Oh god.
There's a free kick whipped into the box. It's dropped to John Brooks, who's hit it. And I don't know how far that's gone wide, but it looked very, very close. John Brooks, Skinhead Brooks, has hit it. Oh, that has gone very far wide. Very far wide. He's hit it on the half volley. It's gone wide by a long way.
He's going all the way. Diaby, he's going on his own all the way. Good save.
Mario Götze is getting ready to come on, I think.
Has Demirbay just missed another great opportunity?
Freiburg get a free kick. They've been bundled down a lot and the referee hasn't given anything. They've eventually given up. It's only on the halfway line, but a free kick was coming from them. Werder Bremen just going a bit reckless into tackles. They took it quick as well.
Big John Brooks is bouncing forward again.
Some lucky that. Diaby's solo run there goes for on goal. Hradika makes a very decent save. It parries into the path of Demirbay. He tries to hit it first time because the goal's open, but it goes over the bar, unfortunately. Needed to score that. Would have closed the game off, but Strobel's come off. Benesh has come on, so plenty of time left in this one.
Freiburg looking like the more dominative side here, but they just don't have that. They just can't score. Obviously, that is the game of football.
It could be. The thing is, though, it's what I said before. The fact that Freiburg might look at this and think, well, we've just lost 6 points of the last 2 games. It's especially at this stage of the season, it's humongous. Massive points there. They could have potentially been, 3-4 points ahead of Wolfsburg in the European spots and sailing, but
I'm having steak for tea tonight. Can't wait.
Don't even know what I'm having.
Freiburg have got a free kick on the wing.
I had that last night, Rowan, from the food warehouse where I was promoting earlier. We're not sponsored by.
If they want to, then you're more than welcome to. But we
yeah,
don't have any food warehouses around us, so it'll just go to Kieran.
Just anyway, for the food warehouse, I'm having some of their beef burgers tonight. Proper beef, lovely stuff.
Proper beef.
I'm having Sainsbury's sirloin steaks. Boom, fry them up.
Great.
Put your bit of white spices on. So your basil, your
what's going on?
Coriander, coriander.
Football to steak.
Got a free kick.
Well, Freiburg have got a free kick on the wing, and it's straight to the Werder Bremen defender.
Just wide. Benesh literally just come on about 2 seconds ago.
I want to put my fan on
takes the free kick. About 20 yards out, just hits the side netting. Unlucky.
If my mic makes a sound, tell me.
No, I can't hear anything. If he's moved it now.
I was going to say.
There's a count on here, Jadon Sancho to Hakimi, 2-0. 2-0
Wow.
Dortmund.
Game, set, and match there.
And it's the wing backs again. I tell you, they're so key for Dortmund's formation. I didn't really see what happened because I was too busy watching the stream, but I saw Sancho breaking away. Sancho has got the assist, by the way, for that goal, so he is closer. Dahoud it was. Sancho goes past Stefan. It's just a counter-attacking move. It's a really good move from Sancho and Dahoud. Taps it to his right to Hakimi, who finishes past the goalkeeper. Dortmund should have all the 3 points.
And it's costly there because Wolfsburg had a great little 15-20 minutes of opportunities to make it 1-1. But that should be game, set, and match now. Dortmund 2-0 up to the good, courtesy of Guerrero and, of course, Hakimi. Both the midfielders, the wide fullbacks, you could say, getting on the goals scoring sheet. Sancho with his first assist back, of course, from the break. Of course, he is looking to break that assist record that Kevin De Bruyne had of 21, I think, off the top of my head.
Gio Reyna has just come on as well for Thorgan Hazard. The young man
talking about
Reyna.
Substitutions, Marcus Thuram's come off for Gladbach. They brought on Oscar Wendt, which I think is a weird one.
I've found the worst trim. I've found it. There was a substitute there for Paderborn, and I tell you what, I've seen some unfortunate hairlines in my time, but there's nothing's beating that. I saw a few strands that were just available, but whoa! I was so focused on the hairline and nearly missed the tune.
For Freiburg. Kieran,
Freiburg definitely need a goal.
Kieran,
What's that?
Have you got your do-rag on today?
Hang on.
Oh, you can actually see your head this time.
Well,
Do-rag.
it's hard when you've got so much bloody hair because the barbers aren't up.
I love the way you say that, and then if you saw mine and maybe Kieran D's hair, you'd be like, yours is extremely short compared.
That's all right, actually. I had a trim just before we went into lockdown, so I'm all right.
I had mine in lockdown. I didn't go out. I didn't break rules. My mum did it for me. I'll be honest, she did a terrible job. Lang's coming on, and so is I'm gonna check that he's got a different name because I don't want to make a mistake.
Baumgartling has come on here.
For Werder Bremen. Got a lovely tattoo on his back.
There's a VAR check for something here. I'm not quite sure what the VAR check's for.
What score is it in your game, Josh?
It's still 2-1 to Leverkusen. Baumgartling has just come on for Dragovic.
Chang Hoon Kwon comes on, replaces Shalai, which I think is a mistake because Shalai has been great.
Goal! That's it. It's over.
3-1
Leverkusen. And I talked about Sven Bender missing a chance earlier on. He does not miss a header. His big, massive head, he bundles it into the net. And that has got to be the match, surely, there. He's not really celebrating much, which I thought you would, because you're 3-1 up. That should surely be the game, set, and match. But he's bundled in. Sommer, with his 6-foot height, decides to just not bother to dive for the ball. He stands there, flailing, and it's in. 3-1.
Werder Bremen, David Selke's come on, and so is Lang for Friedel and someone respectively.
We had a VAR check for a possible red card. Klaus, he was.
2 seconds.
I don't think he's going to be sent off. But the referee is reaching for back pocket. He's off. He sent him off. Klaus has been sent off for Wolfsburg. So what happened was the ball was played forward. Akanji has cleared it with the back of his heel, and as he's cleared it, Klaus has stood on the back of his leg near his calf, just down near his ankle. It's unintentional, I think. It's a very harsh red card, but the referee obviously sees it differently. And Wolfsburg down to 10 men. That is a hashtag misery compiler.
That is awful there. Last 10 minutes. Wolfsburg down to 10 men, 2 goals down. That should surely be game, set, and match there. How is Paderborn versus Hoffenheim doing? Has the pace got any quicker?
No. To be fair, we had a fire 60-odd minutes, and then slowly it's kind of become just passing it round, no real chances. And to be fair, there's been plenty in the game. As you said, there's been over 20-odd shots, so I can't complain. But with 5 minutes to go, no one really seems to want to win it, really.
26 shots altogether.
Schmelz has come on for Guerrero, and Delaney has come off for Beledi. So I think Emre Can's probably going to go back into midfield with Beledi playing at centre-half.
Yeah. So there we go. 10 men Wolfsburg, of course. Dortmund 2-0. Freiburg 0. Werder Bremen 1. Still in the balance of that game. 22 shots in that match. Gladbach, of course, just scored a moment ago. Sven Bender, that's his first goal of this Bundesliga campaign. 3-1, surely that should be game, set, and match. There 28 shots in that game overall. And of course, as we just spoke about a minute ago, Paderborn 1, Hoffenheim 1. The first 10 minutes were electric. The first 60 minutes were quite fast-paced, but it seems to have died down now in terms of shots and chances, unfortunately, there. But we've got about 5 minutes before out of time, and then these games will be up. Certainly say the pace of these games has been exceptional today. And please just missed a great header. And
sorry, I'm back.
That's unlucky. Please just missed a header.
Gladbach have been very wasteful today from what you've been telling us.
Who got charged, by the
way? Victor Klaus. No, is it Victor Klaus? Is it Victor? Klaus it was anyway for Wolfsburg, a red card.
Do you think Gladbach are out the title race now, realistically? I think so.
Yeah, personally, I think this is the game they really needed to win. You've got to look at the last 2 games they played. I mean, the Gladbach, the game they played against Frankfurt was good, but I do personally think after that first 10 or 15 minutes, they were quite happy to just let the ball away, and they didn't look as good as they could have. But in this game, I think Leverkusen, of course, beating Werder Bremen 4-1, now 3-1. I think they're coming into this last section of the campaign on fine form. And I mean, Havertz now 4 goals in his last 2. This Leverkusen side is going to be very dangerous to watch.
Gabber has missed a golden opportunity with his head. And I tell you what, he'll be ruining that. You know, if he's the bird that was at Salzburg, he scores.
Oh, great save. That is a great save. Haradiki, quality save. Allison, play again. Tries to go for the near post. Good save.
Got a comment from Chris Welch. Practicing my darts while watching football on TV and watching you guys on my phone. The dedication.
Try and hit a 9 darter for me, Chris.
So in that break, I went outside to help bring some bags in. I've managed to stub my toe on the curb, and I weren't wearing shoes. So my foot is absolutely killing.
Tell you what, before the 5:30, I'm going to go get a white Magnum after this game. I've deserved it.
What an elite selection of ice cream.
Yeah, good. Looking at the table now.
Ben & Jerry's 2 seconds, Josh. More impressive conversations. Ben & Jerry's fish food. White Magnums. Don't you dare. White Magnums. And then, what's the third? Maybe just a choco brownie.
No, not choco brownies.
Do you want me to kick him for that?
No, for Ben & Jerry's chocolate brownie, that is.
No, I don't mind cookie dough.
Yeah, cookie dough, I think.
Cookie dough, innit?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Cookie dough's better than chocolate brownie.
Yeah, you got to stick cookie dough on there, aren't you?
Fish food's got to be up there because of the marshmallow.
So join us tomorrow for our ice cream tier list.
The Ben & Jerry's corner.
Great video. That's content, that is.
We've got a corner here for Gladbach.
Oh my God, I've just seen what I've done to my foot. There's blood everywhere. Ah!
Rowan is injured.
I'll be back. If something happens, I recommend. Hold up, Joe. I recommend someone
I'll give you
the Freiburg game.
I'll keep up to date with that.
Rowan has died.
So Rowan has unfortunately died while we've been doing this. He won't be back next week because he's dead. But it's all right. I thought somebody dropped out the window in my house. Rowan is bleeding and he's missed his game, but it's all right. I had a chance here in this. Is there a handball shout here for Gladbach?
Oh, what are you doing?
They've checked for a handball from a Leverkusen player, I think Demir Bey, for potential penalty, but they've not given it.
What is happening over there?
Has there been a
Paderborn, this is the reason you're probably going down. Because they are having golden opportunity after golden opportunity. The crosses they're putting in are beautiful. You put one in, it's bloody Bauman's legs in the way. Oh
no.
Oh man, that's unlucky.
That is the worst cross I've ever seen in my life.
Ronaldo's just put in the chat. Rowan is lost. Ronaldo officially retiring from his job and joining the Sports Corner lads on a free transfer.
Quick, get in. I'll send you the link.
It's not summer yet.
I'll send you the link, Ronaldo.
It's a corner for Paderborn, and I'll be honest, I'm becoming a Paderborn fan here. I am cheering them on.
Freiburg's just missed an opportunity. Chang Hoon Kwon misses attempt to the left outside of the box, left-footed. A good opportunity there for them, but it's still 1-0 Werder Bremen. Dortmund.
Massive win for Werder Bremen if that stays the same.
Yeah,
humongous win.
Paderborn need a win here today because of the other results, and Baumann has punched it. There is a man down, but I hope they don't kick it out. I hope they just carry on playing.
Wolfsburg happy to accept defeat here. I'm looking at their formation. They're playing a 4-4-1-1, but they've pushed all their players back in terms of trying to keep a bit of a defensive shape here. So I think they've
just found on the left-hand side on the wing. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but
I don't know why it's saying they're so far back. It's like when you play FIFA on Park the Bus. I don't know why they're all so far back, but unfortunately, Rowan does not get 50 quid because one, he's dead, and two, Weghorst did not score 12 goals today. Oh, God.
The main thing being that he is dead, though.
I'll put it towards his funeral instead. Ronaldo, you're in. Gladbach, Leverkusen.
Hashtag announce Ronaldo.
We've had 32 shots in this game. 32 shots and it's still 3-1 here. And you know what? When you said about Gladbach being wasteful, they have absolutely been wasteful. There's been a lot of good chances. I think Haradeki's had a pretty good game, keeping him out. But I just like looking. They keep zooming in on my stream to the cardboard cutouts, and it's fascinating to see the effort and time that's gone into it. And even now, 3-1 up, Peter Bosch looks like he's pissed.
I mean, that's a massive win, though.
Well, I was just saying,
yeah, they're in front of them, aren't they?
This Leverkusen side looks really, really dangerous. And
one defeat 2020.
Yeah, honestly, I do think, depending on the rest of their games, they could seriously maybe go on unbeaten for the rest of the season, depending on who they've got. They look quality.
You do have Bayern, I know that.
Okay, maybe not then.
I've got 20 seconds here, but it's a great time. And I think it might end 1-1. Oh, come on.
3 minutes at a time. And there's a red card. Werder Bremen are down to 10 men. Bargfred is sent off. There's a goal for Freiburg.
Oh.
I don't know where. This must be a penalty that's been given. Bergfred has been sent off. Of course, he came on for Vogel with an injury. Freiburg scored. It hasn't come up with who scored yet, but I would assume it must be a penalty in the situation because Bergfred only got sent off about a minute ago.
Oh, my God. Paderborn almost just won it in the 54th minute.
Oh, it's been ruled out. Oh, surely not. Has it been ruled out? Not again. Freiburg look like they've been mugged off here once again. I don't know what's happening, but the goals come off the screen. I don't know whether it still counts or not.
I'll move over. My game's finished. I'll move over.
just check to make sure, but the goal has gone on my screen. Have Freiburg just had another 90th minute goal ruled out?
It's still 1-0. We've got 6 of added time, but it's still 1-0.
No, again.
That is unbelievable. I don't know why that's been ruled out, but for the second time in 2 games, Freiburg must have just surely lost points.
Paderborn picked up a point, so this is so crucial for Bremen. They could have won it in the 94th minute, I think it was.
That is unbelievable. VAR decides the goal for offside. Wow.
So what happened in my game was Sancho put Haaland through. Good play from the striker, and he just stumbled.
So I have missed
drama.
I've missed drama. So I have took a chunk of my toe out.
It's all right, Rowan. We're covering it. Don't worry, we've got it.
I can't believe that.
So what happened?
Basically, Bart Freda was sent off, 2 yellow cards, and then Freiburg scored, but he was ruled out for offside in the 90th minute again.
Who scored? 6 minutes at a time.
Was the red card ruled out as well?
No, the red card.
The red card's still active.
Card still stands.
I didn't know whether it was a penalty or not because it came up saying Bart Freda was sent off, and a minute or 2 later said the goal, so I thought it was a penalty, but it didn't come up saying who scored it. It came up saying 1-1, didn't say who scored, and then knocked me off.
I'm hoping the broadcast shows a replay, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to find on Twitter here. See, Werder Bremen aren't even saying who scored, so let me... Freiburg. And see what's happened in this game.
They not got Twitter.
Corners whipped in Vega.
Where is the Twitter? Can't find it.
I'm about to say, how are your guys' games going on?
Mine's finished.
50 seconds left in my game, and Babu's got down the right hand side, whipped a ball in. It's hit Akanji, gone out for a corner.
Well, I'm looking here at Freiburg. Freiburg says this is just unreal. Finally, the ball lands in the goal. It was Manuel Gould again. Of course, scored in that previous game. But before that, there was a tight offside position from Niels Pettersson, who I'm pretty sure was offside for the chance in the last game.
No, it was needed. No, I'm thinking the wrong team. Yeah, I'm thinking the wrong team.
Wow. And just like that, ruled out.
What, that Paderborn game was bloody brilliant, but this point for Werder Bremen, these 3 points for Werder Bremen, can do a lot towards their safety.
Freiburg had mounting on the pressure though.
That is unbelievable. Game over in this game. Leverkusen take 3 points, of course. Massive.
Are you both watching the Freiburg?
I've got Freiburg.
I haven't.
Our game's just finished. It's finished 2-0.
Big results. Big results. Dortmund needed that 3 points, of course. A big game coming up on Tuesday night against Bayern Munich. Humongous match that is. I mean, Benaldo come on Freiburg and then said, take him back. Yeah, no, crazy.
I said Werder Bremen do deserve it because they've been playing well, but there's been certain players for the Freiburg team, Shalai and Gunter, the captain, have been playing great. Holler has had not an amazing game.
It's a brilliant tackle on Davy Klaassen there. He's gone right for the legs.
He has.
That's a double leg takedown in UFC. That's brilliant stuff.
So drop toe hold.
All the Werder Bremen players on their feet.
It's not a drop toe hold.
It's a... Oh, sorry, I was distracted by the football. Cross comes in for Freiburg and it's a corner. It's a corner for Freiburg with 50
it's late drama here. Can they actually nick an equaliser?
The Werder Bremen manager is happy. He's told me they talk to late selling and they might concede a late goal. Is the keeper coming up is a question.
I would.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Grifo crossing. Goes back to Grifo.
Not a good corner.
He fakes it. He's got a bit. It takes too much of every touch. The cross can still come in. Cross comes in. Back post. Oh,
what a save.
That's the most high pitch I've ever gone.
What a save from the keeper.
My God. No. So Grifo crosses it in. Blocked. He crosses another one in.
What
it takes it's not cleared. Another cross comes in from someone. And then at the back post, Pettersson, Pavlenka, dives super late, gets hands to it. His face goes into the post. The whistle blows immediately after that.
Well, Pavlenka's just saved his team 3 points. What a save.
Wow.
I tell you what,
Drama
though,
at the end.
I'm watching that there, and then Werder Bremen players were closing things. They were putting their lives on line at the back there.
You saw 3 of them went for Griffo when he started coming into the box.
I
The
tell you
thing is,
what,
though, they needed that.
Massively.
what a weekend of football that was.
If I was Freiburg, I'd feel so disheartened because they deserve at least a point out of that game.
Crazy games of football. As you can see on the screen, some dramatic games of football today. Freiburg obviously lost against Werder Bremen. They had a 90th minute equaliser that was ruled out by offside by VAR. Once again, for the second game in a row, they will feel partly robbed. Paderborn won, Hoffenheim won. First fantastic half, but the second half did seem to fizzle out after goals in that game in the first 10 minutes. Gladbach by Leverkusen, drama. Controversy with the penalties. Havertz scored 2. Bellarabi being clipped down was a controversial penalty that was given there. Gladbach thought they were going to get back into it with Thuram, but unfortunately they couldn't. A late goal in that game from Sven Bender, his first of the season, won that one. And of course, Wolfsburg, they had a couple of opportunities in that second half. Not the best first half in the world, but Dortmund, they take all the 3 points. And the table looks like this. You can see at the very bottom of the league, I'm just going to refresh it to make sure it is updated. Paderborn, it is a humongous point, but they will still feel like it's a loss in a way after Werder Bremen pick up an important win, which means they are now 2 points behind Fortuna Dusseldorf on the same amount of games. They don't have that game in hand anymore now, which is crucial. As you can see, we move up the table. Hoffenheim, they stay 9th in the league. So do Freiburg, so do Wolfsburg. They don't move at all. Of course, Wolfsburg dropping points today, Freiburg dropping points, Hoffenheim only gaining 1, but it's a valuable point at the end of the day. They keep up the pressure. They're only 3 points behind Wolfsburg in 6th. And at the top of the league, as we said before, Leipzig, they are now in the Europa League spots. Has their season finally started to drop off. Gladbach in 4th. Of course, Leipzig do play on Monday, I think, or Sunday. And Leverkusen, they're now in 3rd place, 53 points. What a fantastic start to the season since the comeback they've had. And of course, Dortmund, big 2-0 win, 57 points. They will now go into that Bayern game. If Bayern lose against Frankfurt, there is 1 point difference between 1st and 2nd. But, of course, Bayern do have to play Frankfurt in just exactly 1 hour's time. That is at 5:30. Wow. What a match day.
Yeah, definitely. And let's hope Eintracht Frankfurt can beat Bayern Munich, because God, would that make the next couple of weeks really interesting.
Well, we've got some comments. First of all, Bernardo won all half-time in the Belarus Prem between Sluts and Brest. His 2 favourite teams. He's asked what our thoughts on Munich Frankfurt. Bernardo, he's gone for Coleman, red card, Frankfurt win 2-1. Chris Wallace said, can't wait for Dortmund versus Bayern on Tuesday, especially if Bayern somehow drop points tonight. But what happened? Better Madrid.
Well, the thing is, as you guys said, I didn't watch the Union Berlin game, but you guys said Bayern were off the pace.
They were definitely. And Boateng at the back did not look the Boateng. He never has looked the Boateng of old, but even if they were against a better team, I know he was doing some clearances and he got caught up between his feet. I know he missed one once and passed it back to Neuer by accident. It just, if things go right tonight, in an Eintracht play to 100%, they can definitely win. I mean, they beat them 5-1, beat with a red card.
I mean,
the thing is, I know they've not got fans as well, but Dortmund are playing the Klassiker at home, which is still an advantage.
The thing is that Bayern Munich are just such a good team. They can just turn up when they want, though. If they turn up tonight, they could easily win 4 or 5-0.
I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be, I think it'll be a good game. I'd like to think so. I'd like to keep an eye on Kostic, because he tore them apart in the first game. Genuinely, like, they could not handle him at all. And if you look up at Kostic against Pavard, that's going to be a nice little matchup on the wing, I'd say.
I mean, it's going to be a tough game. Of course, as I said, tonight they are playing Frankfurt. In terms of that game on Tuesday, if Bayern do lose this match tonight, could we say Leverkusen now back in with a shout?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if they beat, is it Wolfsburg they play in the week? They're going to get points on one of Bayern or Dortmund in the week if they win. No matter what.
After that game, wow, 7 goals in their last 2. And I tell you what, Havertz has been exceptional.
Has a team looked better? I don't think so.
Personally, no.
In 2020, to lose once, I think that they are really. There's a reason why they were always included in the conversation when you talked about that top 5, and it's because they looked so good moving forward. So I'd like to see them, and they've got a face Bayern, so that'll make that game very interesting.
Exactly. I mean, it all depends on how these next couple of match days go. It's going to be a tight one, that's for sure. But as I said, Bayern v Frankfurt is at 5:30 UK time. We're not going to be live for that one, but you can join us for that big fixture. Der Klassiker will be live at 5:15. Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. Depending on the game tonight, it really could be all or nothing. We could see Bayern potentially start nicking the title, or we could see a whole lot of teams put back into that race. So we'll be live Tuesday, 5:15 for that one, youtube.com/thesportscorner as always. And if you're looking for a bit more FIFA content, the biggest full send tots pack opening for the Serie A team this season, that's tonight, 8 p.m. UK time, twitch.tv/the-top-corner for that one, if you want to see some FIFA gameplay after that game against Bayern. Yep.
I just wanted a quick point. Kamada is starting, therefore, but even bigger news, big Timmy Chandler is playing right wing.
After last week, he was dog.
When he came off bench.
He was awful, wasn't he, last week?
He was just thinking exactly the same crossing.
I mean,
why are they playing him at right wing?
That's weird. That I want to. I can't even get the lineup on that. That's strange. That right wing.
Well, I've got a feeling this. I've got it on a live score, the app, but then I've looked at the bench, and apparently Bayern have a full bench, and Frankfurt don't have a single player on their bench. So
maybe they forgot to bring up.
Maybe they just thought, "Fuck it, we're better than Bayern. We don't need a bench."
I don't
maybe
think it's
just coming on at half time.
You'll have to go check that one. But if they are playing Chandler at right wing, I'd take back everything I said about Frankfurt. They're not going to win. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Scott's winner.
I tell you what, over these last couple of weeks, we have had conspiracies for bloody players being shite and then scoring or getting assists, and that is. It is mad. But no, honestly, thank you for everybody that has joined through this Bundesliga watch-along. We will be back Tuesday, 5:15 for the biggest match in the Bundesliga this entire year, Der Klassiker, Bayern v Dortmund. You do not want to miss it. So once again, thank you very much, Kieran L, Rowan, and Kieran D. Hopefully, Rowan, you're all right and you haven't dissembled your toe. Fantastic. I think Rowan's dead, unfortunately.
I'm dead. Yeah, thank you, Josh.
No, it's all right.
Today with some surprising games.
Crazy matches.
Can't wait for Tuesday.
Yeah, no, we will all see you on Tuesday, 5:15. And of course, if you're coming over to the Twitch stream later tonight, we'll see you at 8 o'clock. But as for now, enjoy that game versus Bayern v Frankfurt. Come on, Frankfurt. See you later.
Bye-bye.
See you later.